Controversial opinion.
Good, man.
Brody, you choose a number
All good.
1 to 20.
18.
All right, Sylas, you choose a number from 1 to 20. 2? Okay, I'll go with 10.
No, I said 2.
That's what I just said. Yeah, 2.
No, 2. Like,
This is why I don't interact with fucking Australians, man. This is how it always goes. Fucking
Oh, no,
in the
no,
dark,
rest
taking
of
a sip of
the
some
show,
fucking,
that's quite alright.
getting wasted.
hey, one of the
Sylas,
thing
what
is,
number
right?
did you say?
I said 2.
It rolled exactly 2.
I know. It's a scam.
I know, I
It's
rigged
a
it.
stick up.
Yeah,
Check
so
all the sides of the die. You'll see that's number 2.
there
I
you
know,
go,
it's a
man.
stick up. Check
Ah,
your
blew my
foreskin.
fucking tongue, ow.
Kill issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
I can.
right and all, yeah.
All right, go ahead. We've been recording for the past like 2 minutes.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no, just letting you know, like, Brody's already mentally just gone.
Yeah,
He's
no,
been here
no,
for,
no,
like,
I've been for a while.
yeah, the mental equivalent of, like, 20 years, I would say. Because he's been here for 42 minutes waiting for you, and he's
No,
listened
it's
to me.
no. It has absolutely nothing to do with me waiting for him. It's got everything to do with me just being
Me.
checked out of life right now.
Yeah, well, you record super
checking you
early,
out?
and I forgot to set my alarm, so I slept through it, which is funny because like
Oh.
this is the third time in a row. The last 2 times I had good excuses, like really good excuses that totally backed up the fact that I was ready beforehand. This time I had nothing. I was like, yeah, you got me this time.
Yeah.
I was fucking sleeping, and I was sleeping peacefully until I look at Snapchat and I
Bro
see
was Amamir.
Australian bastard calling me, and I was like, oh. Yeah, that's how we're starting off this morning, which is fun. I have to go drive to Ohio here in like a few hours, so
Imagine
fuck
going to
yeah.
Ohio.
Our favorite place.
there's a woman that I'm friends with,
That's what I need to know.
and she was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really depressed right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can come, because she was like, no one's hanging out with me. I was like, okay, I'll go down to Ohio this weekend. I'll
How
hang
far
out
is
with
the
you,
drive?
because I wasn't thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, I'll go to Ohio and hang out with you. And she was like, okay, cool. And then she planned for us to do shit. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck. I said I was going to do that. And I realized, well, shit, now I have to back up what I said. Now I have to go drive to fucking Ohio.
Jeez.
And I don't know if no one, I don't
Fuck,
think,
now I have to back up my point.
I think the only one here who's seen my car's Brody. But you know how like it in Sylas, you know how when you're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009, you're having a good time. And you want to make like a run and gun loadout. And so, and
Yeah.
hey, actually, Modern Warfare 2 is kind of relevant for what we're going to be talking about today, but we'll get back to that. When, like, you know how you get like that MP5 and you cut off the stock of that MP5 so you run faster? And, it lowers accuracy but increases weapon handling and, speed?
Okay.
Well, you see, my car got into an accident. Almost killed me and several different people. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Pertlight, you're a fucking sociopath. You need to go back to bed for another hour because none of these things are connecting right now. You're just spewing garbage. And you're almost right, but except here's where it connects. You see, I saw my car falling apart, and you said no. And I was like, no. What I see here is a supercar that's not being used correctly. So what I did, I took a fucking hacksaw, and I took my greasy little grippers, and I just started fucking ripping off the bumper. I ripped off the little fucking axle covers. I ripped that shit off. And so it's like, I basically what I did was I gave it a foregrip and I cut off the stock because there's no more bumper on my car. It's just a bunch of frame. It's just the frames hanging out now.
Is this road legal?
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. In America, anything's road legal as long as it has like,
Really?
as long as it has a fucking, seatbelt and at least kind of working airbag. And for legal
Yeah.
purposes,
Oh, we don't
all
need-
my airbags are
oh.
definitely installed, and none of them have gone off.
Yeah, nice. That's good. I like that. Yeah, right. Well, that's cooked. Is it manual or automatic?
Oh, it's automatic. It is all, dude.
Wait,
It's the.
Do both of you guys have manual licenses or automatic licenses?
I have nothing.
There's a difference between the two in Australia.
In
Yeah.
England and
There
most
is, yeah.
places. Wait,
What are you talking about?
wait, I'm sorry. Wait, so you could either learn auto, and all you do is basically you can only drive autos, or if you learn manual, you can drive both.
No, here in
Yeah.
America, I didn't know this. Okay, so hang on. In America, at least where I don't know if it's all 50 states, all a bunch of different shit. It's like you get you get a license to drive.
Really?
Yeah, is what you get. It's like your ID for
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
about.
no,
It's a
no.
government issued
That
ID
is
for literally anything, but it's
Here,
like this shows that
McLovin.
you passed your test to
yeah,
drive because
yeah, no.
manuals are really rare honestly nowadays. Like unless you're
Yeah,
like
Here,
trying to look cool, there's no reason
here
why you'd be driving
manuals
a
are still
manual.
quite common, and so if you want to just drive an automatic, you can just do the automatic test. That's
yeah.
fine. But if you ever have any intention of driving a manual, you need to do the
Well,
manual
that's
test.
the thing though. No, no, not even that. Like, if you have the intention of not getting like bullied every time someone mentions cars, they go, "Oh, look,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
auto
no,
license. Oh,
you
look, he
have to
drives
drive a
auto."
manual because it's
Yeah,
like it's part of
you
the
get bullied
skill.
if not. Because if
Yeah.
not, you go, "Oh, well, you don't know how to control a car properly because you can't
I
shift
mean,
gears."
Wait, I don't
driving
get
an
it. If they make fun
automatic.
of you, why don't you just stab them with your fucking iconic British Boeing
No, no,
knife?
no, no. You don't understand, Pertlight, alright? Driving an automatic in Britain is like fucking playing a Rochian for Honor. There's
Oh,
just no
it'll
skill
be
involved.
well.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
hate
well,
it.
not just that, but like the UK, it's very okay. Unlike America or Australia, well, no, Australia's got a little bit sometimes, but mostly in the UK, you got a lot of bends and it's a lot of like cobble kind of stuff, or like it's very compact
Cobble.
roads. Well, where I'm from, Stayland, peace out, Stayland. So basically, there's a lot of narrow, little bendy stuff, okay, and a lot of curves,
There's a
a
lot
bit
of
curvy,
narrow
like
little.
Dude, you're
Pertlight
telling this to
himself.
someone who lives in the
Um,
Midwest, specifically Indiana. That's like all of the roads here.
but mostly the uphill, or like, and because it rains a lot, there's a lot of potholes and things, and also traffic is a huge thing. So long story short, if you're in a manual, clutch control in that is you know. But like here in
Very
Australia,
important.
it's pretty lit. I'm not gonna ever drive a manual again. I'm just getting a license so that I can flex some people and just show that I'm a better as a person and they're inferior, and I'm better
Yeah.
skilled player basically.
Well,
It's
all I'm
like
saying
seriously, man.
is, I think because the fact
Higher
that
level player.
we're out there like hunting and shit and not sitting inside eating shitty soggy bread, maybe we don't like need manual. This was just a diss on you guys as people, man. I don't feel bad for your
Oh,
people.
really?
I
At
feel
least
bad
you
for
haven't
you
gone to
too,
Australian
specifically
stuff.
that I'm roasting because I feel like I just crammed you guys into this huge insult. Didn't mean for that.
No,
It's
My
fine.
point.
no,
No, it's
no. I
fine.
think
Keep
this is
going. This is
no,
lethal
because this is
opinions.
actually. I think this is the first time I've actually heard Pertlight refer to my people as people. Normally, he just refers to them as
Well, not just
No,
that.
but
I'm
Mexicans
saying
I
and
like
meant
Pertlight as a
people.
true
You didn't see
person.
me do this part. People, and I was also
Oh,
adding in Australians. Well, no, because they're not people really either. They're kind of just like
no, yeah.
it's like the
But
definition
well,
of
actually,
inbred.
I don't think you've heard of fairy bread, have you? I think that will really change your
oh
mindset on
yeah, no,
Say
Australians.
that
what?
would fuck
What'd you
him up.
say?
Okay, I'll tell you. So when I came to
No,
Australia,
Silas,
they
don't do
told me
that
this.
to him.
I'm gonna tell them because I came to Australia and I was disgusted. I was like, what? So I went to a birthday party when I first got here, because I came here in 2015. So little Silas
Yeah.
was in year 5, right? And yeah, no, 2014 I came here, but I started school in 2015. Okay, so year 5, I go to this party and I'm like, oh, cool. And I hear of something what Australians do, which I'm like, what? So Australians have a thing called fairy bread. And I was like, okay, right. And they're like, yeah, this is a huge thing. It's so nice.
Okay,
This
wait.
is bread and butter.
Before you say anything else, can I guess what this fairy bread is?
Mm.
Because in America, fairy bread sounds like it would be like like literally just white bread that's toasted, and then it's just covered in sugar and fucking sprinkles and like syrup and
Not
shit.
to, yeah,
Well,
pretty much, but
wait.
not all that stuff though. It's mostly buttered and just like hundreds and thousands just sprinkled all over it. Basically, that's it.
Holy
Yeah,
shit, I was kind of close.
that's more the gist of it.
Yeah, you were pretty close, but I was like, what? What happened to the good old like? Because I'm very fussy eater, so every single one of my birthday photos is just a huge mud cake every time. So whenever someone doesn't have a mud cake, I'm just disgusted at the sight of it. And especially when I saw fairy bread, I was like,
Well, yeah, how could you not be? It's
leave the country,
you.
leave. It's mine. I basically own it. I am, English, so I was gonna say it.
I basically own it.
I basically own it, guys.
Yeah.
Pack
Yeah,
the
that's
stuff.
fair to be honest.
All right, listen, man. Your country just a DLC to mine. All right.
basically, well, I think every country is at this point. It's just a DLC. Like
Also,
you got like the small little ones and like the texture packs, which is like what's the
British
really much
Empire DLC.
like yeah you know you got like Scone was like texture pack. It's still depressing and rainy. It's just like different stuff. Or Ireland the same. But then when you go to America, it's like actual expansion pack. Or the Australia, it's
Yeah.
upside down. So like that's a lot of storage because you have to flip
The
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 whole thing.
anti-gravity packs, yeah.
I will say when
No,
it
you won't.
comes to shut up. I will say that when it comes to America, like out of all the places in the world, genuine, and I mean this, all right, I mean this wholeheartedly.
Oh shit, guys.
I
he
think
means
everyone
this.
should visit America, if you have never been here, because like even Americans are actually trying to visit other states here, and like there's a lot of cool shit to see here. Plus, you can like go use guns, and guns are fucking
Yeah.
really cool.
You know what's funny though?
Well, hang on, but the coolest part about America, and this is what I think is really the most fun, because like nobody really, a lot of people talk about it, but no one really like actually does a whole lot of it unless you're from America. It's like an American pastime. We do this thing. It's like IRL Call of Duty. So what you do is you go
Right,
to
school
like,
shootings, yeah.
well, you go to like
It's
you
one
go
of,
to.
oh wait, a school. I've seen this one. Yeah, you
Well,
go to a school.
yeah, it's called a school. What you do though is you go to a gun store, you get way too many guns, more ammunition than you need, and you go to a school.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And out of
And they
nowhere,
never mental health check you or
yeah,
anything?
they never mental health. Well, to be fair though, to get a little serious.
Well, they're doing the
about this.
post-mortem, Sorry.
No,
Oh, shit, you're
I'm
getting a little bit serious about this.
well. Yeah, we can get a little bit serious. Nothing like too crazy political. I'm not very. I'm one to be honest about my beliefs. I think guns are cool. I like guns. I'm not a huge gun nut, but
I do
I
too.
also think the problem.
I'm
With,
British. I like guns.
well, like my problem is in
Only
our
muskets.
country is there's a lot of people who are on the side of 100% guns. We need to give teachers guns. We need to arm like all these
Yeah.
schools with 40 security guards. And then we got the opposite side, which is basically guns are loud and scary, and I need Soylent because I can't deal with the fact that
Yeah.
those exist. And you see, here's my problem. I think both sides are idiots.
I do
Because
too.
at any point, and this is the truth. At any point, if you're having a gun debate with someone, or not a gun debate, sorry, a school shooting talk with someone, like a debate or whatever. At any point during that discussion, if someone brings up guns, and any point to fuel their argument in any way, they're objectively wrong and they're fucking morons because school shootings have nothing to do with guns. If we got rid of all the guns in our country right now, they all just disappeared overnight. Like no one took them, they just vanished. This is what would happen. Kids during these school shootings would go to bombs. They'd make it's the easiest fuck to go. You can look it up on Google right now to make homemade fucking pipe bombs and shit. So they would go to bombs. Right? The only reason they don't use bombs is because they like the feeling of
Oh
taking,
no, man! All the
being
kids go to
controller of that.
knives here.
Can I interject, please? Possibly.
Go right ahead. I wasn't finished, but go ahead.
Okay, well, if that's the case, it's a bit of a hasty generalization, which is a fallacious point. Coming from my philosophy background, and it is basically it's a slippery slope fallacy as well because you're assuming that it would actually worsen. If
No,
that's
it would.
the case, how come? Okay, well, how come most countries don't? Unless you're saying Americans are animals, how come countries that aren't allowed guns aren't using bombs to blow up schools?
Yeah, no.
It's not.
they-
No.
it's
I'm not.
mostly
I'm not
knives.
defending America. There's problems with my country, which I am getting to. There is specific problems here, and the biggest one is fucking mental health. That is not taken seriously in our country. It is not taken seriously in the slightest. And I know because I've been at that point where I was sitting in my apartment having a panic attack, crying because I couldn't make the next month's rent, and I was considering taking a fucking knife to my wrist, a big ass kitchen knife, and carving fucking straight down the middle until I wasn't alive anymore. I've been there. I've been at the bottom, and I got back up here. I'm not at the top yet. I'm not top G like fucking. I don't know who's a funny character, like Andrew Tate. I'm not Andrew Tate, you
bottom
know.
G?
Fucking
I'm not top G like Alex or some shit.
no, but seriously,
Alex
the
Delon.
problem
Alex
is that
living the best
we do
life.
not take mental health seriously. If you got rid of all the guns in the country, kids would go to the next thing. a bomb. The
No, yeah,
only reason they're not using bombs is
kids.
bombs are more
I
effective.
agree that kids would go to the next thing. I just think that the
I wouldn't
idea
say
of
bombs.
everyone who was going to use a gun using a
Yeah,
bomb
I
is a
think it
little
would
bit
deter.
Well, no. I'm not saying
most
literally
everybody.
everyone would go to a bomb. I'm saying, I mean,
Well, yeah,
in
no, but
grand
yeah,
scheme,
no, there would be
they would go
examples.
to a
There
bomb
would be
next, and then after that, it'd be knives, and then after that, it'd be fucking spoons or using their fists.
Yeah, no,
It's
they would
it's a
find
slope that
alternatives.
keeps going, and it's never going to change until we attack the problem. Problem is, in America, and you can look at this for literally anything. You see this with drugs. You see this with fucking alcohol. We like to take the easy route. We never take the fucking logical route and finding the problem and solving it. We just go easy to fucking either ban
Yeah.
or like fucking allow it all. It's either ban it all or allow it all. And it's like, that's not the fucking fix. You have to go to the root of the problem. You know what I mean?
The
So you
nation is
say
a
it's
nation of
exclusively.
extremists.
Yeah, you're basically saying. Are you wait? So you're inferring that it's exclusively to America these issues?
I think not in the most literal sense because there's school shootings everywhere. Right? Let's
of
be real.
course.
Every country has school shootings.
But there's some very specific
But
policy decisions.
I mean,
that
let's
they
look
made
at the
in America
fucking
or
let's look at the
something.
numbers in America compared to any other fucking country with school shootings. There is a reason why we have an all-time high.
Do you know?
But
And
it's
we also-
not just. I
can't
think.
remember it. I remember seeing like the actual date of the last proper school shooting that happened in Britain, and it kind of surprised me just like how long it's been
Yeah.
since our last one.
But
can't
the
remember
thing
what it
is,
was.
I
think it was
wondering-
1995.
There you go. Australia, we haven't really got school shootings. We're allowed to have. Well, no, guns are illegal unless you have a license. You can have a license here to basically hunt if you're in like farmland and that, which I like a little bit, but still a bit scary. I'm personally on the side of no guns. I know you must hate me, but the thing is, I don't know. I just personally think it in America's situation, it's like Australia with tobacco or UK. They're going to keep tobacco because it's funding money in there. And I think that's the main reason as well. I think that's just a fact. They're not going to crack down on America because it's a
you
big money
never
pit.
forget that the United States is literally Mr. Krabs. Money, money, money.
Yes.
Always has been, always will be. By its own nature.
Go ahead, Sylas. I saw you got muted for a second. Go ahead, man.
Sorry, I got my pizza. No,
you're good,
so
man.
I think personally, so I've had this debate before in philosophy, and I've heard the extreme of no guns, and I've also heard the arguments with guns. Personally, I think obviously what you're saying. I don't know much about America, so I can't really assume, because I don't have any, much wide breadth of knowledge. But I know from the UK, living there, and also Australia. I think not having guns is a huge aspect, and you were saying in regards to helping America on that curve to actually being better sustained in terms of well-being or whatever. I think guns would fuel that, like as in terms of no gun bans. I know you were saying it's quite a huge thing. I think that would actually help in terms of solving that issue.
I
Obviously,
think it would help,
it's not a be
but
all
I
and end
also
all.
think that such a thing would divide Americans so strictly that it's just
like
not
you were
worth it.
saying, like Pertlight was saying, there's two different sides. It's a huge thing, which I don't really know much over there. But yeah, it's like with most things. I think you're always going to have two opposite opinions and ideologies. But I think you kind of got to remove yourself
always gonna
emotionally.
have
Kind of
your
look at the
rebels.
statistics. Yeah, I think you got to look at the statistics and like use some things like I don't know the hedonic calculus and that to actually find a way to determine what is the greatest happiness of people. And I know obviously it's not the best way of determining things, but with a country with such a large population overall compared to little Australia, I think you got to do measures like that because when you got such a big populations and you got that many different cultures, you're obviously going to get divides and ideologies and whatnot. So I think you kind of
When
got to
you
look
got
at
a
it
large
from a statistical
population, there's
point of view.
literally just more chance of fuck ups because it's just such a wide thing.
Here's my whole thing. Back in
So it has to be well planned.
I forget the year. I did a college essay on this because I used to go to college. I was.
Whoa, you did that? Whoa.
Silas really turned off his camera. I'm the only one with my camera on. I can't believe this.
Running on the floor.
When I was in college, I wrote an essay on the concept of alcohol consumption in America, which is a very, weirdly very similar problem with guns in the country. It's almost the exact same problem. right?
Please
Like,
don't tell me there's Americans that like fantasize about the Prohibition era.
no, I mean honestly, I'm sure there are, but that wasn't the point I was trying to make. My point in my essay was that the laws that we have in place as of right now about alcohol consumption in our country at a federal level, not at a state level, because that's where things get all sorts of fucking clunky. Because if you don't know, in America, like 85% of our fucking laws are dictated by the state. That's what the whole Roe v. Wade
Yeah.
thing was in our country, and not a lot of people know that. Especially I've noticed a lot of people from other countries haven't noticed this. A lot of people think Roe v. Wade was about banning and unbanning abortion. That wasn't it. It was about letting states decide if abortion was allowed.
Yeah.
Which the original
It's
law
a different
was.
thing.
It was basically giving people the right of abortion without it being a constitutional right, which is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Back to which I'm not getting
Why so
involved
many
with what my
Americans
opinions
does
are on
that.
that. Just to be clear, like I'm just pointing out that is what it is. Like literally, I read the
Yeah.
law. It was about giving the states that power and not. And if you disagree with that concept, that's fine. But I just want to clarify, like that's what it is. As long as we're on the same page of what it was and what it wasn't, so I want to clarify. The point that I'm trying to get back to kind of wrap it all together here. The thing is, when during the Reagan era here in the country, there was a lot of drunk driving accidents when people would turn 18. Huge number of drunk driving accidents. Huge fucking number. Like I'm talking like when you got to 18, it spikes up and then it starts to slowly go down. But it fucking shot up.
Yeah.
So Reagan decided he banned the idea of consuming alcohol at the age of 18 and made it 21. Now, obviously, because of that, the numbers of drunk driving accidents fucking crashed. But the problem is, they were still high. It was still happening. It just was happening, first of all, later. But when, in terms of, this point, yeah, it does drop. Less people are going to drink if you give them 2 years to think about it, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the same with the idea with guns. It's not going to fix the issue if you get rid of them or make it really hard to get guns. It's still going to persist because there are people who are dedicated enough to waiting to get these guns or to get them through illegal means. There's a bunch of different fucking ways. That number is going to exist unless you address the problem of why these shootings are happening, as to the other option of just ban them and just deal with the smaller numbers, which is that's where the big issue is.
Mid ideology.
I think, I'm not gonna lie, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Australia's laws are actually pretty good in terms of gun stuff, because like you were saying, if someone's like an avid, more controlled gun stuff, maybe in the bush as we call it over here, things like that, if there's actually like a need for like looking after your farm or whatever, things like that, maybe that's the case. But I think in terms of just normal suburban life, I don't think they should be having access to guns and that. I think that definitely is not the case. And I think with Australia, you got to do every 2 years or something. You have to do a psychological check. Or
See,
something
that
like
I
that.
do
don't know
like.
what it is now.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I've said this before. If you're going to buy a gun, you need to get a psych eval. You need to be sat down by a professional and have your brain fucking examined and picked at.
I think Alex needs a psych eval.
But because that's the thing is you hear these stories and it's true. It is true. There are people going to gun stores, and they're relatively young. They're like mid-20s, early fucking 20s. They're maybe not even in their 20s yet. They're going to these gun stores. They're getting 4 to 5 different fucking guns over the span of 2 weeks. And then they go to a school the next day with a fuck ton of ammo and way more guns than anyone would need, and they start blasting. It's like I don't believe there's a conspiracy going on here, if you guys don't know, in our country, that it's the left, because they're the ones who are very anti-gun. The left is actively funding these psychopaths and giving them money to buy guns, because there's a really weird trend as of late where these shooters are buying massive amounts of guns and they're always using a fucking AR-15. Now, I don't agree with this, to be clear. I think this is insane.
That seems no.
That makes no
care
sense
how
to me.
Anti-gun people are.
But I will say,
I don't think anyone would be willing to do that.
The past 3 to 4 mass shootings in this country, all of them, it started off with someone buying body armor, 3 to 4 guns that they didn't need, most of the rifles being AR-15s, and the almost exact same amount of ammunition, in which they bring the whole bag of guns to where they're going, they drop the guns off at the front, and then they take 1 to maybe 2 guns with them into the building, and they never grab the rest. It is the exact, and I don't believe it, but all I'm saying is I understand why there are people who are starting to believe
strange,
this. Yeah, it is. It's, and my thing is, how the fuck are these people going into these stores, basically filing paperwork saying I'm mentally fit to buy these guns, buying 3 fucking guns and a shit ton of ammunition, and then going, and this is the funniest bit. You ready for this? Did you know?
I'm ready.
Did you know that in this country it is not illegal to, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was to get I think it was when we had gun licenses. I think this has been changed now, especially in Indiana, but this is dependent on the country or the state. You had to get a gun license to fire a gun, not to buy a gun, not to hold on to a gun and ammunition. You could buy a gun, buy ammunition. You just weren't allowed to fire that gun.
Jeez Louise.
Now I'm going to ask you, imagine this, okay? Imagine you were allowed to drive, you were like, yes, you can buy this car right now, Sonny Jim. You can buy this car. You don't need a license. Just don't drive it. Hello, 15-year-old crackhead kid. Thank you for this cash. Yeah, you could buy this car. I see no issues. Just don't drive it unless you have that license of yours. Get that license first. It's like, what the fuck is that logic? I'm a big believer. And listen,
the only piece of paper that was stopping anyone from doing that was, oh, you can get everything you need to do this. You just can't do it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
There's one thing though, all right? So
we do not grant you our permission to school shoot.
Yeah, but there's one thing though, because I come from the side of kind of, not really a fan of guns, but I get the compromise and that. So, Pertlight, I'm asking you now. Let's say you like, you said you like guns and that, and let's say you had a requirement of it, like if you had to do something like with hunting. I don't really believe in hunting, but if let's say you did, because do that, okay, regardless. So yeah, basically, if you had to do that, would you go through, if you wanted to have a gun, would you go through the effort of like a yearly psychological check? Would
yes,
you? If somebody wanted to,
yes.
Yeah, I think if you're wanting to, and you actually have the right mindset, you would be willing to do it. If it's a yearly thing, sure, why not?
I also think that everyone who buys a gun needs to get a gun license, and that should be a all part of the same system. I think.
But the issue is if mommy or daddy has a gun,
then
what's the containment and how are you going to do that? Because that's nothing you can't really
Isn't
control.
I think that's a law here in Britain, that if you have a gun, it is required by law that it is locked away in a gun safe if it's not in use.
I have a pretty relatively easy check for this. Just do a wellness check every single year, basically. Have an agency. I mean, we have the goddamn, oh my god, what are they called? I think it's the ATF. Yeah. The dog shooting gang, as we call them here in America. It's a government organization that does nothing, and I can give them a use. Every year, check out if someone has this ID card, contact this person, you have their address on file, you have this ID card now. Whenever people go to buy a gun, this is my solution. You get this person who wants to buy a gun, they have to get a gun license, and it's the same thing as, they have to be able to pass a gun safety class. They have to get a psych eval done, and then after all of that, they're given a physical license that they can now go to a store, show, and then they can buy a gun. After they buy a gun, they do not get this gun until there's a very thorough and very active background check, not just on criminal history, because that's basically all the fucking one is. I'm talking, you need to go and see what the fucking person has done in their life. Has there been any moments where this person has considered suicide? That should be a huge red flag. If this person has gone onto fucking Facebook and said, there's no point in living anymore. That's a huge red flag. You should not be doing. Now, if this was like 4 years ago, and then everything else has been positive, maybe this guy got married, then obviously it's probably just it was a phase, But if this was like for 3 weeks in a row for the past like fucking 3 weeks, this person is talking about how nothing's worth it, they hate life, they hate people. This person should not be allowed to buy a gun. So you do this very thorough background check. Then they get their guns, and then from here on out, the ATF, even though I think they're a piece of shit federal organization that should be shut down, let's give them a use, right? Every single year, contact this person by mail to set up an appointment, basically, where this person does a wellness check of the house. That is it.
That's what
if this person
ATF
does not have a
stands for.
house,
Yeah.
they should not be allowed to own a gun. You should have to have
Dude,
property
yeah.
of some kind,
So
whether
if
it's
you-
an apartment or in a house. It could be, an
Would
apartment
that be
and a house.
yearly?
Yes,
Well,
yearly.
hold on, listen, hold
Would
on.
you say yearly or bi-yearly?
Yearly. It should be yearly. This should be a consistent thing.
Okay.
It is 12 months of the goddamn.
Okay.
It's 1 month every 12 months. You can deal with that. I would deal with that if I wanted to.
I did. I had
Oh,
forgotten
yeah.
that. Yeah, ATF literally stands for Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco,
Tobacco and
Firearms, and
Firearms.
Explosives.
Yep. They don't ever
And
do
explosives, apparently.
All they ever do
they
is they
didn't add
go up
on
to
the E, but
yeah. All they ever do is go up to people's private property, suck off the FBI until the FBI is like, okay, yeah, you can go in there, and then they go and shoot up their dogs
seems like-
and kill up at least
it
one to
seems
two family
oddly
members.
specific.
And then
Alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Like, what? If they
It's
break
fucking-
into someone's house and they're doing meth, do they just like walk away?
excuse me, ma'am, why do you have a half-empty glass of red wine? What are you doing with that, madam?
Well, the ATF. Have you guys ever heard of the Waco incident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have indeed. I know
That
about
was
Waco.
ATF,
Please tell
baby.
me.
That was them. They walked in.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we heard you guys are starting a cult here. And the people were like, yeah, we're starting a cult. Kinda. But everyone's okay here. Like, you don't have to attack us. And they're like, I don't know. We're going to attack you, though. And it's like, no. Please do not
Yeah.
attack us. Please come inside and visit. Everyone's fine. And then these guys are like, no, we're going to attack you because you guys are scary. And then they killed all their dogs because that's what the ATF does. They're the
Where
dog
the
hunting
issue
force.
was, right?
I still love the story about how the people found out that the ATF were going to attack them. Did you ever hear that story, Bert?
There was several different things, but I do know that the main guy who was running the cult, I do know that he knew that one of the fucking there was a secret ATF member, who
Right.
infiltrated the cult. But the leader of the cult knew the entire time that he was an ATF member, so it didn't even matter. It was like,
Oh my god.
like there was like when
Well-
the initial assault happened, he literally went up to this ATF
Yeah.
member who this entire time was like, I've been stealthy, no one ever's known. He was like, dude, listen, can you please call it off? And he was so baffled by the fact this guy saw through his disguise that he didn't know what to say. So what a fucking idiot.
I
Go
can just
ahead.
No,
imagine that. It's
the,
like
the,
just-
sto- the
just-
story that I heard was that a camera and news team had heard about what was going on, and they had moved in to get some recording, some footage, and of what was going on.
And it was actually the ATF.
What was about to happen. It hadn't happened yet. The assault hadn't happened, but they knew that it was going to, so they were driving on it.
So-
And they find this poor looking man by the side of the road, and they ask him about which way it is to Wake to the place, and he's like, "Oh, why?
Oh,
why,
you're
why
right,
you wanna go
yeah.
there?"
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was.
He
the
was
guy
one of them. He was.
it-
that
It wasn't
guy
just
was
one of them.
so
I
he
think it
knows.
was the cult leader who was on a walk, and then this news team asked, "Hey, there's an assault about to happen. Which direction is it?" And the guy was like, "Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay."
is there?
Fucking runs back home. Hey guys, we're about to get attacked by the
Yeah.
fucking government. But
Jeez.
I will say to anyone who listens to this episode, excuse me, anyone who listens to that, there's a great video by a YouTuber who I fucking adore his content. His name is Wendigoon. Great video over the Waco incident. You should watch it. Very informative. All right, Silas, go ahead. I know you've been itching to talk for a little bit now.
Let me just think of what I was going to say.
I watched Quixer on the way.
I don't even know what I was going to say. I think just the closing statement before we actually move on with the episode, 'cause I think we have discussed, and I think we've got a good point in that discussion of gun laws. But I think personally, what they should have done. So, what was the cult? What was their name?
Branch Davidians.
Yes.
Okay, that one. What they could have done is if they actually chose Egypt to start off with, they would have got like a 10% research bonus.
Fuck
and
off!
that
Are we,
way
are
as
we really
well.
doing that? Are we really doing a civilization joke?
Oh god.
Yes, I am.
But
Okay.
the-
Well, anyway,
I mean,
um,
still to this day, the sad thing about Waco is the fucking kids that died in there, the innocent civilians and kids.
Anyone who
Those
died
nuts.
during that was just.
I know, I know, but just like there's this little scuffle, and it's like, okay, there's a fight, yeah, it's gonna be sad, whatever. shit happens. People
when
get
the
shot.
kid,
But
yeah,
then the
when
whole thing
kids
just
were
fucking
locked up
burns
in
down.
the fucking
Yeah. That's like the harrowing thing. That's like, okay, the ATF fucked up.
But the ATF
I
is
don't
still
care.
around, and they're still killing dogs. So good job, America.
Yeah,
right?
no. They'll tell you that they set the fire from the inside. It's like you filled the room with gas. What
Yeah,
the
but the
fuck do
thing
you
is, the fire
expect?
was still inside. Like.
Well, the fire guys,
Okay,
no,
sure, we.
you don't understand. We're the ATF. We don't handle fire, so it couldn't have been us.
Yeah.
Do you see
Yeah,
we're not-
F in that abbreviation?
Y-
I don't.
Listen, man, we're the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, not fire.
So it couldn't have been us. Fire? What even
Yeah.
is that? A chemical reaction? The guy's holding
I'm
a
just
fucking
saying,
lighter as he's doing this in his hand. Hey, what's that?
It's just like.
Oh, nothing. Do you want to see your dog again? Nothing, buddy.
I'm starting to think that ATF doesn't stand for what they handle. It stands for what they use.
Yeah.
It sounds, because they seem to use a lot of alcohol, a lot of tobacco, and a lot of
They
gun.
also
to
have
solve every
literally no jurisdiction in doing raids. I just want to throw that out there, but they still did it.
But they
and
think they
still-
do. But
They still do it. They
think
do it. They just don't have the jurisdiction. I don't know how the fuck that correlates. Like, you don't see fucking McDonald's arming their employees and going shooting on fucking Burger Kings. Like, what the fuck? If it's not in its jurisdiction, how is this happening? Like, the CIA, do something. I will say that's never gonna happen. You don't have to imagine it, Sylas. It happened.
No. I mean, like, is it? No, I mean the McDonald's analogy. I mean, like, is it? I can just imagine like people wearing like Wendy's outfits with like red wigs and that and skirts, just like full on AR-15 storming a Macca's.
It's literally just like it's just a level of ready or not. Except it's just McDonald's employees going into a Burger King, all tactically going pop, pop, pop. Fucking kids are screaming.
It's like
Get
minimum
the
wage.
fuck down!
It's minimum wage workers. No, but they're gonna be kids because they're all minimum wage workers, so they're just gonna be.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like 17-year-olds at the oldest.
Basically.
Fucking acne.
Oh god.
God.
Fucking acne.
Yeah. This is a pickup.
I know damn well that if Waco had happened in Britain or something, it would have been more like.
Well, it would have just been a throwing knife battle. There wouldn't have been any guns.
No, it would have been
true,
like the
actually.
Iranian embassy siege.
Gonna
Which
be
I don't know
Machete,
if
the
you know
movie.
anything about because you're American.
The Iranian. How is that related to the?
6 days. The Iranian embassy siege. Took over
Oh,
6 days.
is that when SAS were like full and epic
Yeah.
style? And I just went.
Yeah, they did
prove.
6 days of trying to negotiate with the bastards, and then the SAS
SAS were
was
like, you know
"Fuck
what, we are
this."
kind of like the best military, so we'll just thanks, and then just.
This sounds
Yeah,
so
no, they
fucking
killed.
familiar.
They killed one. They killed one of the hostages out of like 30 or something, and they were just like, okay, yeah, no more fucking playing around. And so the SAS bust in.
The
and killed
SAS
5
were like,
of them and
yeah, okay,
captured the
sure,
6th.
we're waiting for this. They feel like when
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege started, they were just
Although
rappelling down,
the SAS did fuck up a little bit. One guy was rappelling down the side of the building and trying to break through a window, but he slipped and broke his fucking ankle.
Imagine being a
That was
part of
probably
the
his
most
first day on the
elite
job as
fucking
well.
squad of
Yeah.
like soldiers, and like a terrorist puts like a bar of soap out the window like a few minutes before. Everyone's making fun of this guy. It's like,
That's not
what
even
are you
that.
doing?
No,
It's
it's
such a-
just
Fucking banana peel.
The terrorist is like,
you
no,
know, it's not
trust
even
me.
that.
I've played Rainbow Six. They're gonna go through this window, and it's this one fucking SAS soldier slips and breaks his ankle. Like, oh, that clever bastard. He fucking knew, bruv. He fucking
No, you know what
knew.
he actually did though. Like factually,
Yeah,
they
but he was
actually put
alright.
like banana peels out there, like on the side. They
Yeah.
stuck it on, and then he went down and slipped. Yeah. It was just, oh man. And then you could see the SS go around trying to look at feet on the ground, and they're like looking around,
Yeah.
sleeping.
They're like, oi, watch your fucking feet, mate. There's
Yeah,
fucking
no.
banana peels everywhere, bruv.
Put the dogs away, innit?
I'm curious here.
We're all a little
Yeah, we know you're bi-curious. Okay, so I think we should end off on a high note before moving on to the actual topic of the episode.
Don't bomb your schools, kids.
You.
Well, yeah, not just that, but also going back to the fast food analogy, Wendy's is coming to Australia, well, Perth. So can we get a
Ew,
back and
why?
chat?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
You guys
I
don't
don't
have
know-
a Wendy's right now?
No, so I'll tell you what we got. Okay, so the big ones. We got Nando's, obviously, which is South African, that stuff. Pretty sick. And you got also Brody. By the way, Nando's over here, right? It's not a restaurant. It's like just a proper, just like a walk-in thing. It's not
What
even
the
like
fuck
a,
is
you know,
a
like in the UK, it's like a
Nando's?
proper.
I'm sorry, Nando's?
Yeah, it's not even. We came
Yeah,
here, right? We're
Nando's
like,
is
oh,
Nando's is
it's,
based, bro.
yeah. You
Nando's
know
is
how it's like
based.
quite, smart casual in the UK. Like we went in and they're like, yeah, yeah, just pick it up. And I'm like, okay.
Is it
So we
Mexican
got
and
Nando's.
Brazilian cuisine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's South African. It was made. I think they did it in
That's not South Africa.
Johannesburg.
That's like a different continent. Hang on. So
Yeah, no. The
No,
cuisine is that. The actual
cuisine is
business is
Mexican, but it
from
was
South
made in
Africa.
South
Oh,
Africa.
okay. I'm like trying to. I was like, this is two different parts of the world. They both say
Yeah.
South, but that's not making sense.
No, don't you know
So,
that everything south of the equator is literally the same?
It's
It's
true.
all just
I
oh yeah,
am
man.
communism.
there.
Oh yeah, man. You guys on the equator? Oh, noobs. So yeah, we got Nando's, KFC, obviously Macca's. Oh, that's right. So Australia's a weird. It's so funny. So UK, you got Burger King. America, you got Burger King. You know, it's not in Australia. Imagine the Burger King logo, right? But remove the words Burger King. They've like blatantly like it's just a copy of it.
You've shown me
But
this
I think
before.
it's like a, yeah, it's a branch of Burger King. I'm pretty sure they obviously have permission because they'll get sued to Kingdom
King of
Come.
Burger.
But it's called, we call it HJ's. It's called Hungry Jack.
Yes, Hungry. It's like why not just call it
Yeah,
like
Burger King.
no, but
I'm
Hungry
pretty sure
Jack
they're
sounds
owned
more
by them as well.
Australian, so it's okay, you know.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
it does.
HJ's.
It
It's pretty
does.
simple. Just go in HJ's, bloody oath.
I know damn well Sylas watches Garn. Just defined.
Well, I will say that I'm really shocked you guys don't have a Wendy's though, because like
Yeah, we
it's just-
don't.
Well,
Is
we
it
don't.
any good? Yeah, Wendy's is mostly American, but like I was
I-
hoping more. Is Chick-fil-A
I
alright?
think
Because they're the
there's,
one with
like-
the hex things, aren't they? Flayed the hex potato. Are they good?
Can
Or
I
is
be
that
real
someone
with
else?
you? Can I be real? But
Be real.
He's talking about the French fries. You're the waffle fries. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
I've seen them everywhere, but
I
I'm
don't
like,
know why
are
you
they any
called them.
good?
I don't know why you used the word hex. That's not what I like.
I
In
don't
no
know.
way did you use the word hex
Waffle.
correctly in that sentence. That's like asking me like what kind of socks I wear and I say hats. Like that was so absolutely unrelated that I'm very confused. But I get what you're trying to do. When
Yeah.
you're doing
And
your
we
code
all know
symbols.
that hats analogy would be
Hexagonal.
wrong because you're actually wearing thigh highs.
Hexagonal. How the fuck is that a hexagon?
That's not even hexagonal. I just realized. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Right, no, okay, I'll tell you my thought process if you want. So basically,
I
there's
would
a
love to
cereal
hear
here because
this.
I love my chocolate cereals here. So there's one that's called chocolate pillows, which are just great. It's really bad for you, right? Anyway, so it's called chocolate pillows is like a chocolate like side thing. Anyway, there's another one called
Okay, wait.
chocolate.
Hang
They're
on,
called
pause.
Chex.
So let me get this straight. So your mental process for this, I just want to clarify so I'm on the same page here. Your mental process for naming a type of French fry, fried
Yes.
potato, a vegetable.
Yep.
It starts
Yep.
off with chocolate cereal.
Okay, well that's the thing.
Yes.
Yes, and basically they're called Chex. They're called chocolate hex things, and they're Chex, but like they look similar. That's why my thought process was like that. But obviously, I apologize. I don't know where it came from. What is that in the background? Grand Bunny, Grand Bunny, Grand Bunny.
It's a chocolate bunny that I need to throw out. My dad got it from me, but I haven't eaten it yet.
Okay, well, long story short, is Wendy's any good?
Wendy's is all right. It depends where you go, what time you go. If you go at the highest, the best, they have, in my opinion, the best chicken sandwiches. Like just hands down, they have the best chicken sandwiches. I think honestly, Chick-fil-A is way overrated. It's a white girl thing,
Chicken
I think.
sandwiches.
Yeah, chicken sandwich.
Like as in, wait, that's like wait, when you said like as in just normal, just shredded chicken or something in a sandwich, or like
No, it's like
is it fried chicken?
well, I mean, yeah, it's like well, think fried chicken but without the bone.
Well, yeah, that's
Well, fried chicken. Yes, it would just think fried
Wait,
chicken, but like
so
without,
you know KFC, right? You guys have Zinger burgers, right? You got Zinger burgers?
what the fuck's a zinger burger?
You
Oh my
don't have a
God.
zinger burger?
What? Okay.
I'm not even saying we don't
Okay.
have it. I don't know, man. I don't eat only
It's like-
fast food, so this might be like
Okay, well I do. So anyway, it's basically a burger, right? And then you got like a patty, but it's not a patty. It's chicken, and it's fried chicken. It's like crispy in that, and it's spicy. But forget about the spicy.
Very spicy. Nice and
It's
spicy.
actually not that spicy. I think it's just a pussy burger.
Yeah, it's not that
Um,
spicy. But spicy.
no, I've never heard of.
Okay, we've
this.
broken them. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's
Well,
just-
there you go. It's nice. And
Yeah.
then HJ's as well over here. They've got a thing called
hold
Jack's
on,
Fried
hold
Chicken,
on.
which is basically a copy of that. They've copied it, which is
Let's
great.
see.
But there's one thing what KFC did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In Australia, I don't know about you guys, but you're gonna look at me and go, so you're an actually no, Pertlight might not because he's American, so they did weird stuff already with the food. But okay, right. So it's called cola barbecue wings.
I've never heard of
Okay,
it.
and
Yeah, I've heard of
they're wicked
this.
wings, right? You know wicked wings, Brody. So
Yeah.
basically, like you said, it's like just chicken, fried chicken on a bone, but it's got cola barbecue sauce. And it is so nice. But the thing is that over the last couple of years, it comes in and it goes out and they don't sell anymore for like 2 years and they come back with it. And every year, or every other year, it has less sauce. It's gone now, but I
That's what
was
they
so
do.
sad about it.
That's what they do with fucking all of these goddamn limited time, like delicious types of sauce related shit.
Yeah.
They always
Yeah.
give less and less. Stop doing that. Listen, okay,
What was
I
that
gotta go on a
burger what you guys were
tangent.
talking about over there? You
Listen,
Americans. What was that one burger what you guys were like? There was one thing that was like, bring back the. Oh, wasn't there? The one with the barbecue, it's like onions or something, and it's like barbecue sauce, and there's like bring
McRib.
back the
McRib.
McRib. Is that one?
Well, okay, yes, but the McRib's different. That's literally like if you
Oh,
actually like the McRib, there's something clinically wrong with you. And I'm
okay.
aware that like
I don't
90% of
even know what that
Americans
is.
like it. That's kind of my point.
Right,
Anyways,
so
Okay.
that's why I like McRib. Right?
and listen, this comes from like a big guy. I've eaten some fucking shitty food in my life. Like I like bad food for me. The McRib's fucking disgusting. I've never even eaten it personally, but like the creation of it's nasty. They just boil it in water and then lather it in fucking barbecue, and then there you go. They ship that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Not the bread,
The
obviously. That's
barbecue
more of a
sauce
British
is like
cuisine, but like
90%
you know
of
what
the
I mean.
flavor.
Like they take this slab of meat, boil it in water, pull it out, throw some
Hey,
barbecue sauce
listen,
on it,
man.
throw it on some bread, and they send it out.
This
It's
is
like,
my morning
You
routine.
you can judge my cuisine all you like, but there is the occasional piece here and there that's all right-ish, sort of.
Mm. Before you go on your little
I
tangent,
will
but
get
like
you a
that,
fucking Cornish pasty, and your opinion of British food will change ever so slightly.
he is right. He is very right. But the thing is, before you go on about, because you're going on about fast food, I just want to share a little story for you.
yeah, go ahead.
So it was about the Colorado barbecue wings. I love it. Okay, my family, they banned me from the kitchen. I'm not allowed to cook now because I made it and it was nice. But they're like, that's all you're gonna cook, Sylas. You're not very adventurous. And I'm like, I'll cook. Let me cook, and they don't let me cook anyway. So
Let them cook.
I went into the KFC. I walk in. I'm like, you know what, Dad? Stay in the car. It's on me. Don't worry. I'm like, this is gonna be easy. Just quick an in and out job. Or it's so easy. Okay. I go in. And this lady, she's just pressed by this point, right? And she's minimum wage, and she's about, I don't know, like 19, 20. And I come from work, so maybe it was just my staff uniform, just so intimidating, right? But anyway, so I'm like, okay, so they come in, they come in sixes, right? In each box. Or is it's four? It's something, right? No, they come in four. I'm pretty sure they come in four. And I was like, okay, well, for my family, 4, 8, 12, 16, right? That's 4 of the boxes. So I'm like, okay, I would like, and I say to her, I would like. So I order all my other stuff, original tennis box with all that stuff, right? Okay, just nonsense to you. But and I go, okay, now the cola wing. I put my hands on the desk and I slide over and I go, cola wing, right? So she's like, yes, and she goes, and I say to her, I'm like, can I please have 4 boxes of the cola wings? No, I didn't. No, actually, no. I thought she was smarter than this initially. I said, "Can I please have 16 the wings, the cola wings?" She goes,
16 boxes.
"No, no." She was like, "They don't come. They don't come that big." And I'm like, "Yes. Can I please have 4 of the boxes, please?" And she goes, "Yeah, but you said you're 16." And I was like,
Oh
"Yeah,
my
16
God.
in total." And she goes, "Okay, okay." And then she goes out, right? And she comes back and I'm waiting, in Australia, so you got a bunch of just dodgy people around, and I'm like, "I'll just get out of here, come on,
Mm-hmm.
let's go." And I see the boxes, and I'm not one to Karen, okay? But I open it up, and there was hardly any sauce. But not just that, that's not the bit I complained about. I looked in the box, and she put 2 wings in each box. And I said, firstly, it's meant to be 4 wings in the box. She goes, "Oh, fix that." And she picked it up, went around, she didn't want to work, obviously, and she put it through. And I'm like, actually, all of a sudden, she turns around, and she goes, it's like, yeah. And I'm like, also I need 2 more. Well, no, not 2 more boxes. How many was I on? I was on 2 boxes then. So I was like, oh yeah, I need another, couple more. And she was like, yeah, but you didn't order that. And I said, yeah, here's the receipt, see? And she goes, I did that, didn't I? I said, yes, yes, you did. And the thing is, they were so understaffed, so all the people were queuing up in the order section, and I was at the pickup bit, and
Oh
everybody's
my
looking at me like,
God.
yeah. And I'm like, and I felt so bad, but I'm like, I paid for this. This is like another $20.
That's so fucking
And I was like,
shit.
I need, and then she's like, oh. And I heard her go around, and she's like, this guy, he's confusing me with the numbers, and I'm like, oh my
I
God.
just wanted fucking wings.
And the-
he said 2. It might
Yeah.
play
So the guy picked it off like the receipt on their side and looked and goes, "Oh, you wanted 4 boxes?" And she goes, "Yeah, but how do you know?"
What do
And
you
then he's like,
mean?
well,
The receipt says it.
he's like 16 in total, and she's like, and she's the one who put it through the cash register as well. So I'm
Yeah.
like, so I'm baffled at this point. Everybody's looking at me, and I'm like chatting them up, like, how's it going, boys? How's it going? Just 1 second.
Oh yeah.
I've.
And anyway, they're like, she's panicking in the back, and they've also got the drive-through going on as well at the moment. So I'm hearing just
Oh,
beeping
God.
and things in the background, and like people complaining. So I eventually got the package, and I said thank you and all that stuff, and everybody just stared at me in the line like I was some filth. But I think I did good there. I think that was a good shout. But yeah, that was one time where I just had the biggest. Yeah, I don't know.
I
This
can definitely.
big rant.
I've worked in fast food so many times. I initially started doing what the fuck was it, man? I think the first job I had was Wendy's. And then I also worked at Taco Bell, and I worked a short time at a pizza delivery place called Domino's. I don't know if Australia has that. I know
Ooh,
you
Yeah,
does.
we have
Domino's.
Domino's.
It's my least
Domino's.
favorite
And
pizza
Pizza
joint.
Hut, we got those two.
Yeah, we have
Yeah, not
Domino's, but it's
great.
just like way too fucking expensive.
It's
And
expensive,
so,
and
like,
the
I don't know, the
fucking
pizzas
sauce
are, eh.
specifically, I fucking hate. It's the sauce. But back to what I
Yeah.
was saying,
To be honest,
I
yeah,
can
locals
definitely
are probably
say
better for pizza.
I think they hire the fucking dumbest people for that. Taco Bell specifically, I like. Oh, that was one of the only jobs that. And
Oh yeah,
I did walk out of Domino's. I walked out of Domino's. I've never walked out of a
Hey,
job
Jacob,
before except for Domino's.
it's fast food. All right, the
No, I
idea
know.
of a
No,
cashier
that's not.
being able to count past 4 is a bit much for them.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I
difference
know,
is
but
that
the whole
Sylas
minimum
said that
wage,
she was about 20-ish.
Yeah.
At Taco Bell, we had because our main GM or whatever, or I think it was just our man. I don't remember. It was one of our managers. She leaves, and we were really short staffed because of COVID was happening around this time. So we had these 2 fucking fat, ugly bitches from. I don't mean to fat shame. I'm just trying to give you a visual idea. Like imagine 2
Yeah.
fat, fucking ugly,
So he's fat
moron,
shaming, just to
big,
clarify.
fucking big, goofy toothed motherfuckers. Hillbilly hicks. They're from a town
Right.
called Brazil, which you already know it's gonna be the greatest fucking town ever in Indiana if it's called Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
It's
Yeah.
meth.
That's
It's
actually a town.
Methopolis.
I
Yes,
thought you
we
were
call it-
joking then.
No, it's
I
called
thought you
Brazil.
were just joking, going, oh.
No, serious. It is a shithole. It is a total shithole. If anyone who's listening to this or watching this is from
God.
Brazil, Indiana, I'm sorry. Like I genuinely am. I just try to get off the meth and go get a decent job. That's all I can tell you. Anyways, so they came from there, Taco Bell, and it's like they were the biggest fucking idiots. They didn't help with shit. They were loud. They're obnoxious. I almost made that Taco Bell become a crime statistic. I'm not going to get into details of what I mean by that, but I just want to make it clear of how that's where my headspace was
No,
when they
you
were there.
are
I think you should go
right
into detail.
now.
But back to what I was
Right
going to say.
We got
My
time.
point is
No,
that
let's go back. Rewind. Let's hear it. Let's hear this.
listen, I'm American, and it might have involved what we were talking about earlier, involving guns and shootings. I'm not going to say that it was. I'm not going to say that it is. By the way, CIA, I didn't claim I was going to do anything. So, boom, motherfuckers. Anyways.
Yeah.
The point
fuck
overall
you,
that I'm trying to
ATF.
make is that it's like usually in my experience, it's actually like the fucking high school kids. They're usually the best to work with because even if they're idiots, it's like they're usually fine. They don't give enough of a shit. I've been able to get high school students to give me like extra fucking nuggets before because I get their pain, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's like like anyone who's like above them, like those 40-year-old fucking piece of shit managers. Fuck them, man. They're idiots. They're assholes. Not all of them. A lot of them are cool. But some of them are just fucking dickheads. And it's like, you're pathetic. And like, I genuinely hope you have a terrible day because
You
of
know,
how...
personally, me going into college and doing business studies,
Mm-hmm.
They talked a lot, like a lot of the business studies that we did was about motivating employees and making sure that they're comfortable in their work environment.
Well, the whole
I
idea.
don't think I get the feeling that American business schools aren't teaching that because I have a lot of friends who say their managers were shit.
Well, to be fair, and this is my dad's viewpoint. My dad's an old libertarian, you know. Yeah, he's quite the fella. You know, ex-military, you know, sergeant major, U.S. Army.
They fought in the Vietnam War and all. Yeah.
No, but he did go to Afghanistan and Somalia. I don't know if he actually went to Somalia, but I remember I think he did. Almost died.
Somalia, how fun.
Tiny little story here. One time he was flying a helicopter and apparently a rocket flew through the middle of it. You know how they have that opening right there? Flew straight through the middle and almost killed him. That's a fun story.
Interesting. Fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Pleasant.
Back to what I was saying though, is that like he has the idea that fast food should be shit to work at. The pay shouldn't be great. The workers should not be treated super well. It should be just enough so that someone can get a job, get some money, and then get an even better job. It's like an entryway kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I get where he's coming from, but like, I almost became a manager at Taco Bell if I had like stayed working there. If it wasn't for those two piece of shit bitch managers, which by the way, if you're watching this, kill yourselves. If it wasn't for them, I would have become a manager at Taco Bell. And I probably wouldn't be an electrician right now. I'd probably be going that route, even though like it would be temporary.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. Yeah, ew.
That's interesting.
But yeah, back to what I was going to say originally, kind of like looping back around to fast food shit. Can we stop with the limited time items? Can we stop doing this shit? Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like listen up,
right
Taco Bell PR guys. Just make nacho fries a constant thing.
Right.
Make nacho fries are the best fucking fast food fries. Please stop taking them away. What's
going to build up right now? What's going to build up more hype amongst your customer base? A limited time event where you have to buy this shit now because you'll never see it again, or hey yo, this restaurant makes this really cool food and it doesn't go away. It stays there forever.
Dude, holy
you know what's
shit.
best though, to be honest?
What?
Oh, sorry. You continue.
I was going to say, Wendy's made one of the greatest sandwiches I've ever put in my mouth before. And it was limited time and I can't get it anymore. And it was called the garlic
sandwich.
I think it was called the garlic knock. No, wait. Sorry, I'm a fucking idiot. I think it was like the mozzarella chicken sandwich, actually. I think that's what it was. And what it was literally, it was like a garlic bun. Underneath that was marinara sauce. Underneath that was a chicken patty. And then underneath that was like, it was like a chicken patty, but it was like a mozzarella stick filling, you know, like the cheese. It was the greatest sandwich I've ever eaten in my fucking life. It was perfect. It tasted like it came from a fucking 5-star restaurant. My mouth is like, I'm having to drink down saliva because I'm salivating because it was the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. And I'm not joking. This is an exaggeration. I'm a hefty guy too, so you know.
No. I can tell.
Yeah.
Like this sandwich is so good. I spent $100 one night at a Wendy's getting like 50 of these sandwiches because all my friends were super fucking stoned and I wanted them to eat it for the first time. And we all got like 3 or 4 extra after we had it the first time. But like,
yeah, nice.
It's gone now. It's gone, and it's probably never gonna come back. If anyone is listening to this, if this podcast becomes famous, all right, listen, guys, we need to get a hashtag going on Twitter, on fucking Facebook, on Getter, doesn't matter to me. On Grindr, doesn't matter. We need to get a goddamn hashtag going. Bring back the mozzarella chicken sandwich. Wendy's, I will fucking go to your HQ. I'm not gonna do anything violent. Just to be clear.
Bring back the chicky moms.
I'm going to allude to that I'm going to do violence, but I'm not actually going to do violence.
Eliminate them.
For legal purposes, I'm not going to do anything legal.
In-game.
Yeah, I'm going to do in-game violence.
In-game.
Yeah, I'm going to do Minecraft violence, of course.
Yeah. He's gonna make a statue in Minecraft and call it Wendy and beat it up.
If you guys do not bring this sandwich back within the next year, I'm going to. There's going to be an accident.
I like the idea of just I'm going.
I'm going.
Guys,
I'm going.
Be prepared.
And you don't want me to go,
like
motherfuckers.
Some Optimus Prime like ending scene. Just I'm coming. What be prepared.
There's more that meets the eye. Fucking Linkin Park plays as you
There's
see me
more,
loading
there's
shotgun.
more to Wendy's. There's more to
In game,
Wendy's than
in game. Let's
meets
just
the
add in game at
Mops.
the end of that. In game,
And Cry of Fear, yeah. Which anyone who knows
Yeah.
what Cry of Fear is,
In
that's even more
Crisis
funny.
3.
Yeah. Just my point is,
so-
stop with the limited time items. I just want to clarify, like, just stop doing that. I'm going to commit
We're at
racial
a
problems in
point-
this country. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to create issues.
We're at a point. No. We're at a point where limited items are so common and so expected of restaurants that if you were to not do that, that would be a genuine selling point.
It would.
I think
you
you know what would
don't
be
do
great
that.
though. I think what they should do is they should actually make a new model, and they should actually have a battle pass system. So what they do is you go
Okay,
in.
I just want to be clear. Like,
And-
I was actually thinking about this, and I think I know you're going with this, but I want you to go ahead and go. Like, I
Oh no,
kinda-
it was really 2D. It was just a terrible joke, and everybody actually thinks I was being realistic. Actually, it was an opinion.
I
Well,
actually
it's-
like
it's
this
similar to that,
idea.
as an
How
idiot.
can I buy the Wendy's battle
Um,
pass?
I don't like
Wendy's
the battle
Battle
pass idea, but like we should just do like the seasons where they announce it like 4 months ahead of time. Like, this is the next season. Just start doing that, because at least then we know it's coming back or not, and then we can give you guys like feedback.
Sorry, guys.
You know?
We're removing double pump from Wendy's.
Like, I mean,
New
fucking
patch
fast food's
notes.
already like the exact same thing as the goddamn, AAA gaming scene. It's all schlop anyways, right? It's all schlop. Just give us,
Yeah.
just like, let us control the flow of slop a little bit.
You know
what
what's
I mean?
funny though?
What's
That's
that?
a really good segue into actually the topic of this episode.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
we hit
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour and we're only getting
Yeah.
in. All right, we have another hour.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've had 2 topics so far. Good shit.
So
All right, let's
yeah, which is great.
go ahead and introduce us,
hello,
Silas,
everybody.
for fuck's sakes,
Yeah,
man.
hello. Welcome everybody. This is the Lethal Opinions podcast. You're an idiot for listening. Why are you still here? Go home. Well, you're probably at home already. Go
Can
cry.
you go kiss your
okay?
fucking beautiful wife on the goddamn mouth, please? Leave this podcast.
If you
Go
don't
do
have a wife,
something.
kiss your husband.
I think
Wait, you talking to me or-
yeah, I was gonna say Silas thought I was talking to him. I meant to the
I
audience
was like,
listening.
what? Until I heard husband, I was like, okay, cool. All right.
No, we don't accept gay people. And we don't accept women. So only wives.
Not even wives. Women eradicate.
Yeah.
So
we should just all
anyway,
become
this
gay
is
men.
Brody.
Sorry, go ahead.
Kiss,
What do you mean by
kiss your
become?
body pillow.
Become minus the B. So here, that little handsome gem in the top left corner, that is Pertlight, which is probably in the top right corner for you guys, but I don't care. Okay.
Dear
Go
God,
up-
don't
again,
do that
go cry.
face.
And then at the bottom we have Brody. Unfortunately,
Mhm,
he's a bit camera shy, so he's not showing his.
He's a little
Cute
bit of a
chop.
soiling
Yeah, no.
British cuckold. We love him.
No. I like to let my voice and my accent speak for my appearance rather than let my appearance
Okay,
speak for me.
okay, we get it now. Okay, so yeah, the episode today, the topic which we are going to be discussing and solely discussing and nothing else is
I had a fart. Sorry, go ahead.
as fun. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
So I didn't. Yeah. So hello. We're gonna be talking about gaming industry nowadays, but first of all, we're gonna go back. We're gonna wind the clock back. Okay. We're gonna go back to.
Yeah, that's our winding the clock.
Yeah,
back
that's not like a
noise.
sad horn noise. That's just a winding the clock. Play the wow 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 wow.
Can you
know?
fucking hurry up, man? I'm trying to do the sound effects for him. Your sound effects guy. Come on, you fucking Aussie
Oh my
bastard.
god, what? We got the sound stage going. Okay, so we have we're going back in time. We're going back in time.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. I like this. I like this intro.
Back in time to a land before 2011.
Oh, I was
New
thought that was
Leaf
gonna be like a
Opinions
noise or
fucking
something.
intro. He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. I already fucked it up.
No, that was
He's
good.
the angry Australian fucking nerd. There's a fat loser with a stupid hat. And of course, you got the British twat. It's the
good.
Lethal
Yeah, dude.
Opinions chat. There we go.
That's so good. You
I
know,
don't
it'd be
think
so
anyone here
funny.
gets
if we
that
just-
reference because you guys
No,
are like 3 years old
personally,
each.
Oh.
personally, U.S. national anthem ain't got shit on that.
No one here gets
Personally,
that
I
reference
hate
of
you
what that
all,
was. It was
but
the angry video game nerd. But go
actually,
ahead, it's fine.
no, I know I got the
Yeah.
reference. Yeah, no,
Why didn't you
I
laugh?
I actually go. I don't know if you're going to the side just to fart in my face or like to just hide your face. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway, regardless, I actually still don't know how I'm not fat. Actually, just go into that topic before you go further. I really don't know because you talk about how much you eat, right? I've probably eaten all. Okay, maybe actually you've had it
Oh,
worse, but
Pertlight died.
I think basically I don't know. I've eaten that much stuff in my life, like bad stuff. It's not good. It's not good for the soul, and I don't know.
Okay,
Obviously,
but
you got artery
Silas,
issues, which could be the
Silas,
case. I'm gonna show you
Silas,
right
do
now. Have
you exercise by any chance?
Well, I used to play hockey, which is
Right,
yeah,
well
field
then.
hockey. So that's probably why. But I haven't
Wait,
played that in
hockey or field hockey?
field
Field
hockey.
Okay,
The
I
only
was
the
gonna
only
say
hockey.
normal hockey is kind of like the least Australian sport I can think of.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is what I like. Just even this morning, like this is what I ate at like 5 in the morning.
Go
See
on.
that?
That's
It's called the
disgusting.
Big Brekkie Burger. It's the Big Brekkie Burger. It's got hash brown, barbecue sauce, double patty, and bacon. That's the stuff I eat. And I don't know. My metabolism is
Why
it's
does
really
America
like
get made
clinging
fun of for
on.
having the fucking like this
I know.
like the fucking gargling goddamn kind of food when you're
No,
goddamn showing me shit
no.
like that?
That's good
It's
though.
not that we don't have it. It's just that America's infamous for gobbling it all up.
Just and not exercising, basically.
Yeah, no, it's
Anyway,
but Britain's
um,
going down the same route, so we can't judge.
yeah, Britain. So the topic here
Britain.
is going back in
British.
time, talking about the gaming industry, seeing the roots of where we were beforehand as children, and maybe we're just clouded by nostalgia and it actually was ass to begin with.
No.
But you know what? I don't think so either. But we're gonna get to that later, okay? And we're gonna go to the foundations of it, and by the end of this podcast, which is perfectly
Oh
structured
no.
and well organized, we're gonna get to the end, and by that point, we'll be at the point of knowing what's happened and the actual state at the moment. Okay, so
Oh
it's a bit of a show and
no.
tell here, you know.
Viewers at the moment of recording, it's the British coronation.
What's
There's a
happened?
lot of fucking flags outside. I just
What the
noticed.
fuck's the
Yeah,
British coronation? What's that?
oh, the king,
King
the king's
Charles is
now,
being
yeah,
coronated.
he's been coronated.
What
Basically,
does that
even
like?
though
What
my
does that
family's also
entail?
watching that.
It means he
And
becomes
he's
king.
pledging. He's based. No, well, he's king before, but he's like kind of pledging his like
Yeah,
full
Has he
pledging his
never
kingly.
done
If
this
that
allegiance
makes
to the
sense.
before?
monarchy.
Like,
No, because
No,
the
no,
thing
no,
is,
no. It takes a
usually you
while.
wait. Yeah, it does, but the thing is, he's waited 6 months because his mum died and whatever, so he wanted to give respect to
Yeah.
her. So
oh yeah,
it's not
because
just a
wait, wasn't he a prince and now he's only just become a king?
Mm. Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm an
and
idiot.
no,
I
he
was
was
thinking
a
that he
son.
was always a king. I was like, that's why I was confused. I
yeah,
was like,
No.
yeah, the
Just-
queen died, and
No.
then the thing is, like, yeah, I was watching some. I don't know how they do it because like that stuff, it's so like
they give him a
choreographed.
crown.
Prince
Say,
Charles is
you're
their
the
son.
king, sire.
Oh
And then
no, it's been going on for like the last like 5 hours at the moment. It's going until like another 4 5 hours. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's long for doing that. But anyway,
Mhm.
gaming. It's gonna be a bit of show and tell. We all remember the show and tells on like Fridays, and if you think it was on any other day, you're an idiot. Okay, so
You're not
Friday,
wrong.
yeah, you present in front of your class, and you go, here you go. Here's it's a presentation. It could be a thing where you went, or it could be a thing you brought in. It could be a child, a dead one. Who knows? But the thing is, Pertlight. Hello. Pertlight, hello. What have you brought in? What is your game? Your childhood game, which is your baby.
See, the problem with that question is, Silas, you're a fucking idiot because I love gaming as
Yes.
a whole. No, I'm just kidding. The thing
can tell.
is, when it comes to games, I actually brought it with me. It's a Burger King Sneak King. This was my favorite game growing up. It's great. I'm fucked with you guys. I have a lot of childhood games. I think the first.
Okay, well, pick a cool memory.
Well, I was gonna like just go on a list here. So
Oh, yeah, actually, do that. Let's
Oh,
see
yeah,
the
yeah,
list.
yeah.
the first game that I remember having a huge, significant impact on my life that I played, one of the first games I actually vividly remember playing, was Halo 2. That game changed a lot of how I now currently see games. It's why I'm a huge, huge, huge fucking fan of the FPS genre. I love it. It's because of that game. That game kind of changed my whole worldview on what gaming can be.
Yeah.
Another friend. I have a
It's
fuck
more
ton
with the
of
Predator
games.
on the cover, isn't it?
Did you say the Predator on the cover?
Yeah.
Have I talked about that in a previous episode?
No, not in the previous episode. It was on one of your videos I had to edit.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the fucking AVP video. Sorry, that was like a weird blast from the past. That was like a really weird, like surreal, like Twilight Zone moment for me. That was like really
do you
fucking
want to tell
weird.
the viewers what's going on? What are you tripping about?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, the reason I knew what Halo was, my brother showed me a Game Informer magazine. I don't know if it was Game Informer. I don't know if Game Informer was even around at this point. It was some game magazine at a
I
Barnes
think
and
so.
Noble, and it had an Elite on the cover. And my brother told me, and I didn't know what Halo was because that makes it even funnier. Didn't know what Halo was.
Yeah.
My brother showed me this and was like, dude, look, Halo 2. They're bringing the Predator into Halo because the Elites have the 4 jaws like the Predator does.
Yeah.
And I was such a brainlet that I didn't even think about, I didn't know what a Halo was. I didn't know what that
Yeah.
meant. And I was like, I love the Predator because I loved Aliens and Predators when I was a kid.
Yeah. I
I
mean, who doesn't?
Oh yeah, I love, dude, Aliens.
Yeah,
is such
actually,
a cool
when I was a
franchise.
kid, there was a
That
lot
is-
of Predators as well. He used to follow me. It was so cool.
Yeah, like your Uncle Stevie, right?
Yeah.
What's that tear going down your cheek about, Sylas? Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab
They touched a different kind of cheek, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's depressing. But I don't remember asking. So yeah, I got a whole fucking shit ton of games right here. Well, there goes my phone. So that was one of the first games I do distinctly remember. Another game this is the game that made a huge impact on my life. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent of how horror has like influenced me because I'll start it off easy. My dad, when I was 8 years old, sat me down and made me watch the shitty American Grudge remake. But when you're a child, that movie's the scariest shit you've ever seen, and it scarred me for like a few months, and it made me had night terrors and shit about the Grudge. And even now, I have night terrors every once in a while.
Nightmare.
Yeah, like the Eric Godrich nightmare. It actually cured my retardation. But as I was saying, one of the game series that really impacted me, and it's still to this day one of my favorite game franchises, except for the third one, Dead Space. I remember when my mom and dad were getting divorced, my mom took my brother and I to a GameStop because my brother told her about Dead Space, and I knew they had this. I don't remember what the show was called. I think it was called G2 or something. It was on cable, and it was all about video games. And they uploaded onto cable a full fucking walkthrough of the first chapter of Dead Space, and I kept rewatching it because the lack of a heads-up display, the fucking monsters, all this shit always scared me shitless. I wasn't even playing. I watched the same clip, and my mom got me Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, and I actually have the original copy of Dead Space 2 that I got all those years ago right here. This game was the first horror game I ever played. Not Dead Space 1, hilariously enough. My brother played through Dead Space 1. I played through Dead Space 2. And I never beat it because I was scared. And then I went and played through Dead Space 1 and beat that one. And then I went and played the rest of Dead Space 2. And Dead Space is, I know it's weird to say it's a childhood game, but it really was. Like it was a really, it was a great game to play when I was young, despite I should not have played it. And my mom, like I love my mom, great woman, wonderful woman. What the fuck was she thinking?
Gents.
Woman?
What did you just say, Brody? What did you just say to me?
My apologies, gents.
You should apologize.
I just got fucking snupped away.
Why did you mention women on this podcast?
Yeah. What's wrong with women?
You're right, man. My bad.
No, it's not what's wrong with it. You know what? Forget about it.
It's
Enough
what's
about women's
right with
rights.
them.
Let's talk about women's wrongs. How about that?
Another game
Uh,
I have here is 1080 Avalanche, and no one knows what this one is, but I love this game. I still love this
Is it
game.
in HD?
No, 1080 Avalanche was a
1080
GameCube game. I have this one as well. I have a whole fucking bunch of games sitting on my lap
Wait,
right
what's
now.
it called?
1080 Avalanche for the GameCube. I grew up with this
Oh.
shit. It's a racing
Not Ted.
snowboarding game that nobody's ever played because everyone was playing the other series. I forgot what it was called.
Hmm.
But this is a Nintendo licensed game. Like this is a Nintendo game. Like I
So not
know.
1080p.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's not 1080p. Oh, I get your fucking joke. Yeah, so let's get the fuck out of here, you fucking.
Wait, I know which game you're talking about. Wait, is that the one with like? I know what the other one was because it's got that song in it. There's like one single song I remember from that game. It was on the
got that
Wii as
song.
well. It was like the cover was this guy with like ski goggles, like close up. I don't know what it.
Was it
I don't know if you know about that
SSX?
franchise. No,
That was another
Never
one
mind,
that was
but there's-
also that was another snowboarding
there
one.
was one. Don't Fear the
Cringe.
Reaper. That's right. That song was on that game. I don't know what that game was now.
But yeah,
Actually, I'll be able to find it. You continue talking. I'll have a look.
1080 Avalanche was a big game. There was also a Hot Wheels Highway 35 game that I love, which, by the way, Hot Wheels Highway 35 and Accelerate Racers S tier.
Did
Yeah,
you do
so
a
it
video on
was-
that?
What's that?
Did you do a video on Hot Wheels? Or like a stream?
I did do a review when I was a fucking little infant.
I already
About,
checked that out right now.
Nice.
Check
yeah,
out
everyone. It's
Pertlight.
the highest viewed video, which is really fucking. It makes me depressed too.
For some reason, I was able to find that. Don't ask. Me and Brady haven't been doing anything whatsoever in the other podcast.
Yeah,
it's
no,
all good. Don't worry, it's fine. Move on.
No, now I'm worried. I'm not in those episodes. What the fuck's going on? That was just really.
Ooh,
you know
what's
what?
this?
All right, yeah, let's move on.
Sean White
Yeah.
snowboarding. That's the game.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about. But
Yeah, no, that's the one. That's franchise for you. A little plug for you guys. Never
Yeah.
played. No, I have played it.
So
Anyway,
Halo series, 1080 Avalanche was the first racing game that I played that game like religiously. I'm really good at 1080 Avalanche. I'll
course,
fucking
of
1v1
course.
any of you guys to that game, and I'll fucking annihilate you in a race.
I didn't doubt
Another
it.
game, and this game, holy shit! First Call of Duty game I ever played.
you probably
to be
will.
clear.
Good stuff, man.
My favorite
I'm very
Call of Duty
intrigued at
game.
what your first.
It was this one really changed. Like Halo 2
Black Ops
was the
1.
game that really showed the story potential of video games, and it really clued me into what a video game can be, just as compelling, if not more compelling, than a movie. It's why I've always liked games over movies. Halo 2 did it for me. What cemented it, and what of the first game that made me think for myself and genuinely fucked with my head. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. It is
Really?
I was thinking Black Ops 1. I think that
This
was
is not my original copy because the first time I played it, and this is why this is one of the reasons I didn't know what a Call of Duty was, but I know it was on my dad's work laptop, and my dad, again, Army veteran. I don't know why he had it. Could never find it after this point. I don't even know if it was actually his. I think he stole it from someone. It was installed on his laptop. He never played it. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, can I play this game?" He's like, "Sure, son, go ahead." Played through the entire thing. And let me tell you, when that nuke scene happened, being a son of a U.S. Army, veteran at this point, soldier.
Yeah, you've just saved this pilot. You're flying away from the danger,
the pilot
and then just
dead.
It was all worthless, and that scene fucked with my head for years.
Wasn't there like a chick you saved or something, and then she ended up dying after the crash or something?
Everyone died after the crash. There was everyone.
No, but like, there was
Yeah.
even the person that was carried in and
yes,
you're
everyone died.
Yeah, no, they're dead.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
isn't there like a scene where you go up to them? Well, not a scene, but you go up to them. And they're just
yes,
dead,
there's
dying.
a part where you have to rescue a crashed helicopter. Spoilers to anyone who's played this game. Or hasn't played the game. It's a great fucking Call of Duty. Stop watching right now,
How old is
actually.
the game?
How old is this came out in
How old is
2007.
it?
If you did not
Okay,
finish this game yet, get the
2007
fuck
spoiler
off this
alert.
get the fuck off this podcast. I'm telling you right now, I will hunt you down,
Well, just in
Jared.
general.
I will fucking kill you, Susan. I will fucking absolutely kill everyone in your family,
Goodness,
William.
Susan's gonna be watching this podcast. Susan.
Some schizophrenic named Susan and William. They're gonna be like watching like, like when that happens, they're gonna go.
Yeah,
no,
nice.
that's exactly what will happen.
Well, just in general, guys. Just in general, the little message. Stop watching the podcast. What are you doing? Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for context, anyone who doesn't know, or to kind of fill in, there is a scene in the game where there is you're playing as the Marines.
A helicopter
And
pilot.
I'm gonna set up the whole mission because this is one of the greatest missions in gaming for so many reasons.
It is a great mission, yeah.
So they set up at the beginning, there may be nukes in the area, but you don't listen because you're a fucking tough as shit Marine. You've been doing this shindig. The Marine missions have been, you go in, you bust the fucking Alcatala's fuck. I don't know if it's Alcatala.
It's a Call of Duty.
It's Alcatala.
It is?
It's not Alcatala.
Alcatala is the new, the remake.
Yeah,
bad
that's
guys.
what
What is it?
Yeah.
No, it's the forces under Al-Assad. I don't know what
Al-Assad, yes.
Yeah.
We'll call him vague
Big Al.
Middle East. We'll call him vague
Big Al.
Middle East. Big Al. Fuck it. That sounds funnier.
Big Al. There you go.
No. Hear me out.
Wanka.
ultra nationalist, bro.
No, that's the Russians.
Yeah, because no, he's
Yeah,
got
but
a
the
toy barn as well.
they're ultra nationalist as well.
Imagine
They're the
that.
same
You're gonna
political
raid Al's
ideology.
toy barn.
I guess. Listen, the point that I'm trying to make is that the mission starts out with, you're big ass Marine. You've been killing bad guys left and right. No one's in your fucking way. You've had tanks. You've had helicopters. You go in on this tank.
And when you hear about the idea that there's nukes in the area, you're a Call of Duty player.
So you're gonna stop. Either you're gonna stop or you're gonna get out before they go off.
At the very worst. Yeah. At the very worst, you're gonna find that nuke and defuse it before it goes off.
And it's gonna be a cool, quick time event. It's gonna be epic. You're gonna save the world. So what happens is, throughout the mission, you got this really tense and somber music playing the whole time. You've got this really foreboding atmosphere. It's really good. You're breaking into these bases. You're killing out you're killing these terrorists. One by one, you're clearing these areas, right? You're saving people's lives. And then eventually, as you're trying to get out of the city, one of your fellow squad mates' helicopters go down. And you hear that the pilot's alive.
They do actually appear at one other point in the mission. So they kind of a character, if you will.
And you hear this woman, and the pilot,
basically
and
COD 4's equivalent of Echo 419.
Yes, kind of a weird, much smaller role, but yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, but
and she gets shot down, and your commander, he's like, "You need to touch us down. We need to save that pilot." And the basically the head of the operations guy, he's like, "Dude, you guys got to get the fuck out of there. You guys, listen. You have 1 minute." Until you are not within a safe distance and all this shit. If a nuclear detonation does happen. And so your captain's like, that's fine. Let's get down there. Let's kick ass Marines. And you're like, of course.
I kind of remember what he says. He says that, if you do go to try and save that pilot. In the event
of a nuclear detonation.
There is no guarantee that you'll be safe. And the fucking lieutenant says something along the lines of, Roger, sir, we know what we're getting into. He knows that he's putting himself and his men at risk, but he wants to save this one more person. And I like that line of, we know what we're getting into.
Yeah, my dad, I'll get to that in a second, actually. So they land, and I'm thinking as a kid, I'm a fucking badass, tough as motherfucking nails Marine. So you go in, there's a timer, and it's small. It's maybe a minute and a half. It's really fucking short.
I think that's
and you have to run down this alley with infinite spawning fucking terrorists on both sides, shooting at this helicopter, while your teammates cover you as you grab this woman from the helicopter crash, and you
basically rely on your flash grenades.
Yes. And it's really tense. It's really somber. You get her in the helicopter and you start getting out of there. And it's like, mission complete. You're good to go. You fucking did it. You saved all these people. You're a fucking tough as shit Marine. And as you're flying away, you're talking on the radio, and then a nuke goes off right there.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you're going to get away. You're going to get away. And the shockwave it's coming closer and closer until eventually it hits your helicopter. And you start spinning out, and then there was a fucking other soldier in the fucking, at the fucking helicopter. He flies out, and then it crashes. Yeah. And then you wake up at this crash wreckage in the next mission. You wake up this crashed wreckage. You crawl out.
I love that the crash wreckage is its own mission.
Yes, it's so good. And it's like you get out of this helicopter. You're crawling. You crawl the helicopter. You fall out. You could barely get out of prone, and when you do, you eventually fall back over. You go to a playground and you hear the sounds, the echoes of the past of kids playing. You see dead bodies of your fellow Marines. You see a massive fucking mushroom cloud right in front of you, and as you're crawling, you're just hoping you want to get you want to get your character to a safe distance. Your character falls over, and the vision goes white.
Just stares at the cloud.
Yep,
yeah.
And
he just stares at the cloud, and then it dies.
It is, and then the next cutscene is a quiet music, depressing music of a list of all of the soldiers who died in this explosion.
Yeah,
and then it starts on one name, and I think it's Private Jackson or whatever your character's generic white guy, army guy name is. It stops on that name.
Yeah.
And it is such an amazing visual storytelling moment. You didn't need to hear this fucking, the nuke's going off, get out of there, Jessica, my beautiful wife, no! You didn't need that. You just needed this moment of soldiers.
Yeah, no. When you're in that crawling scene, your character doesn't just pull up a fucking picture of his wife and kids and start looking at it. No, it just happens.
My dad told me a story, and this is one of the only times I've ever seen him cry. This is the only time I can think of that I've ever seen this man cry. he told me a story about these two special forces soldiers who heard about a helicopter going down in an area, and they were like, "We're going in to save this one," because there's one soldier who was alive, one guy who made it, who survived, but he's in that helicopter crash. So there's wreckage, and there's two special forces guys nearby, and they basically call in their commanding officer and say, "We're gonna go in there and we're gonna save this guy." And the commanding officer's like, "You know that like you're going like if you're not getting help, we're not gonna be able to save you."
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, we know, we're aware." And they don't care, and they go in there anyways. To be clear, everyone involved in the situation had families. These two men, these two special forces, they had families. This one surviving guy had a family. When they got there, they gave him an extra gun that they had, and they held that position for, I think it was like over a day, until eventually they were overwhelmed and eventually executed by, I think it was Al Qaeda, but it could have been the Taliban, which is basically the same thing. That is the only time that I've ever seen my dad cry is telling that story. And that story kind of is just like the camaraderie of the Marines in that mission to go down there and save that one pilot, knowing that there's a good chance none of them will make it out alive. Yeah. And they still do it anyways.
And for what little it's worth, they managed to help that person survive for a whole other day. Which, it's not. I mean, when you think about it, they went in with saving their lives as the objective. They didn't manage that, of course.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
even just that one more day,
against
the odds that they were up against, the odd that they were up against, that's pretty fucking. That's a success.
Baller, dude. It's fucking badass.
And I don't doubt that they took some bastards with them in their defense.
Yeah.
So camaraderie counts for a lot.
It's a very, very, very depressing story, but it reminds me of that mission because, and I know it sounds silly to remind you of a fucking video game, but it's true. It's done that well because you have this idea, this camaraderie to save this fucking soldier, and then you for all intents and purposes,
the camaraderie of saving this pilot. We know what we're getting into, sir. You know, and then they go and then it ends up being quote unquote pointless.
Yep.
But we all know why they did it.
Yeah, I think with what you were saying about it could be sad relating to real life. I don't think so, because if it's a good story, this could be about any form of media, book, whatever. If it's a good story, it bases a lot of it. Like if you could look at the old Star Wars movies, like things like that's one example, right?
Yeah.
It's based off values. And you can see the same values, camaraderie, bravery, whatever. Not even just stuff like that. Maybe it could be like a sad thing. Like you could even talk about the new Blade Runner film, stuff like that. There's always something where people go, yeah, right. Okay, it's that good. It's that poignant, or it's that well, like, show not tell. Especially those kind of movies. What links to you, and then you can kind of relate to past experiences. If that makes sense, because you kind of go, as humans, we do this all the time. We relate to things a lot especially as humans, because we always like to kind of relate to things because it's a form of understanding. We want to understand something, we kind of relate. Simple. It's like even if you go back to instinctual, just like, Homo habilis or whatever, right? If you want to go, okay, I want to build this house, I can relate that to the experience. Okay, if I found these two sticks together, you could make a foundation, and you build everything off experience. That's how humans have evolved. That's anything, right? Any form of life. It's through experiences and it's through messages and that. And movies do the same thing. They discuss messages, and that way we relate to them. Because the best way of understanding. Also, a little fun little joke for you. Well, not even a joke, it's just a fact. You know what messages were called back in the day for cavemen and that? Like what the things on the walls used to be called, or like little messages they used to leave for each other?
What?
No, there's actually people study this stuff. It's called a meme. That's the actual meaning of meme. Like the actual first, it's called a meme. So
You're kidding me.
No,
Why?
it's a fact. Why? So like messages.
Senator Armstrong was right all wrong. We got to stop this episode, man. He knew what he was talking about. We got to start talking about these emasculated males. Everyone's got to start getting jacked. Let's go. We gotta fix America, boys.
I agree.
So anyway,
where did that come from?
I don't know, but COD 4. I like that. I like that choice. And then any other ones you want to say? You can keep going.
No, because the fucking theme of camaraderie really made me think of a film that I'd watched recently.
Yeah.
Well, I say recently. It was a little while ago. But I saw it on Netflix, and I don't know if you'll have had it on American Netflix. But have you seen Mosul?
Mosul?
Mosul, Mosul, Mosul. It's a war film.
Sounds weirdly familiar, but probably not. I haven't seen
Hmm.
too many war films.
I've seen
It's a
one.
really
I'll go into
fucking
that
good
later.
one.
Oh, there's two
It's a
movies.
really fucking good one. Oh,
Both
right.
came out in the same year, of course.
Right, okay, so they're probably the same movie, just released twice.
Give us a synopsis, Brody.
Oh no, one of them's a
Uh,
documentary, and then one of them's like
yeah. Okay, yeah, that
Hey,
makes sense.
actually, it sounds really familiar. Tell us.
It starts out with like these two policemen being attacked by ISIS. Like in Mosul, there was a split divide in the city between the ISIS controlled areas and the other anti-ISIS controlled areas, and you've got this policeman who's just fending off against this ISIS attack. They've like taken one of their people hostage, and so the ISIS are going after them, trying to kill these officers. And this young lad, he's like, not even out of his early 20s, just barely narrowly survives this attack because these guys show up. And it turns out that these guys that show up and save them from the ISIS are like a certain SWAT team that's really infamous in the city. They're one of the only people that if ISIS captures them, they don't just kill them. They don't give them an opportunity to survive. They just kill them instantly because they just know that these guys are so dangerous. This fucking Mosul SWAT team. And so seeing that these guys saved him, they go through a list of, well, do you want to be part of our squad? And he's like, fuck it, fine, yeah, I'll join along. Got nothing better to do. I'm a fucking police officer. I'd rather be with you guys.
this
And
is
so the
literally
whole
just the
film is
plot
just
of the
about him.
Modern Warfare.
No,
Modern Warfare?
2019
I was going to
no.
say the same thing.
The
I was gonna
whole
say the exact same
the
thing.
whole film plays out with him just going along with this squad of SWAT members and just trying to do whatever it is they're doing. And initially he questioned what actually is the mission because they never tell him. But it's very clear they're on some sort of mission, but they just don't bother to tell him. And eventually he just gets to a point where he's tired of asking and he just goes with whatever. Over the course of the film, they lose squad members. You see their really old, grizzled captain, just like really saddened by one of their deaths. It's really a fucking emotional moment. And then their fucking captain dies like most of the way into the film as well. He fucking dies because it's really fucking well done. Like throughout the film, he's always picking things up and cleaning up after his men. If they leave packaging from snacks around, he'll pick it up and clean it. And then they break into this place, kill all the ISIS in there, and then he notices that it's dirty, and so he starts cleaning it up. But they left a trip bomb when he picks up this crate, and it just blows him up instantly. So that was nice setup.
I think.
And finally, they've finally gone through all of this. They've lost so many squad members, and then it finally comes to fruition what the mission was. And this guy, one of the guys in the SWAT team, Waleed, has been kind of like leading in the captain's place. He's a cool guy. And it finally comes to be that they break into this apartment block. They kill this guy that's in there, and Waleed walks in, and what does he see? He sees his wife and kid. And it becomes clear what the mission was the whole time, is that for all of the members of the SWAT team, they just go around trying to find each other's families. They help each other try to find each other's families. And Waleed's just there crying in his wife's arms and crying, holding his kid. And he just looks so dejected. And it's just the idea that all of these people that have died up to this point have died so that the Waleed could just find his family. I fucking love that. There's so much camaraderie in that, knowing that the whole time we didn't know as the audience. We had no idea that was the mission, but now we know that all of those deaths, all of that shit that our character has just gone through, he went through, and all these other people went through. All these people died so that Waleed could get with his family. It's just so good. I fucking love Mosul. Would highly recommend anyone to watch Mosul if you get the chance.
There's one film, I gotta say, one army film I've seen. Like what stood out to me most And I have to say, it's actually one of the I watched it when I was really young because my granddad, like, he liked army films. It was kind of that stuff. And yeah, basically this one, you probably heard of it. It's called The Great Escape.
Ah,
Anybody?
yes. Yes,
Ooh,
of
wait.
That
course.
is probably one of the
Whoa.
saddest endings, like, in all of like war film history. That is the saddest thing ever.
I've know of The Great Escape, but I've
Is that
never
the one
Have
where
you
they
never
actually
watched it?
escape
watched
from
it.
the Nazi camp and it's like a bunch of
Mm,
POWs?
mm.
I've never seen
Yeah.
it, but it's been
Yeah.
on my list to watch.
It's the sad. Do
Isn't
you want
it
me to
like a
spoil it? No, probably
super
won't.
fucking iconic movie?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Have you
massively
seen
iconic.
Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino film?
No.
There's a spoof in it which it alludes to that film. Steve McQueen's in it and that. But yeah, I won't spoil it if you're gonna watch it because yeah, it is so sad. The ending of that film. It's like oh
Speaking of like
Pretty-
realistic depiction of war that is like really sad in movies, have you guys ever heard of the film It's All Quiet on the Western Front?
okay.
Yes.
I've read the book.
Yes.
You've
I
read
read
the
the book
book.
and-
Dude,
I read
holy
the
fuck.
Yeah.
He's dedicated to the cause. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
Literally study that.
story-
I know that book inside and out.
Yeah.
And
All Quiet on the Western Front is
Oof.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I didn't watch the remake. They made a Netflix remake. I never watched it, but I watched
yeah,
the
which
black
apparently
and
has
white film.
really good ratings.
The
I
black and white
watched
film
I
is
watched
so
the remake. I've watched the remake. It's really good.
Well, like
Yeah,
here's the thing.
it's got a lot of awards.
My only problem that I have with the remake's existence is that the original actually had World War One veterans playing the main characters.
Yeah.
Those were World War One vets because they wanted to make it as authentic as fucking possible. And
Yeah. No. I think that's quite fair.
And
Do you
although
actually
I
know
think
who
I'm sure the
wrote
original one's
the book?
good. I'm sure it has great acting. It's not the same as having these people who were literally on the grounds getting shell shocked every
Yeah,
second,
no.
watching their friends get like World War One. I've said it to this day. World War One has caused almost, not literally, but almost every modern tragedy to like that's man-made to happen. World War One is the leading fucking cause of it every single time. World War One is the most
Well, you could-
pointless
well,
wars.
yeah, it's the reason
and-
why World War II happened.
It's the reason why
That's
World War
one
II happened.
example.
It's the reason why Al Qaeda and fucking ISIS happened.
Because
There's
the
a
Treaty of
reason
Versailles and all that stuff, yeah.
why Russia became such a huge communist dictatorship. It's a reason why North Korea and South Korea split. It's the reason for all of that. It's the reason for the nuclear bomb being invented. All of these things, all these horrible tragedies from World War One. And
Just
the
domino
saddest
effect.
part is that World War One was not just worthless. It wasn't just worthless in terms of it was just like it was.
Yeah. No,
it-
the way they describe it, even the winners lost.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
World War One is
Also,
described.
I
Even
just
the
want to
winners
say
lost.
that despite that, America was the absolute biggest Chad in World War One. I just want to throw that out there. You know.
No, wrong.
Yes, they are.
Um,
No.
I think-
Yes, they fucking were. So let me get this straight.
Okay.
So Germany wasn't even one of the leading fucking people in this war, and yet everyone wanted to dump shit on them.
What?
Who was the one country that was against it?
Well, yeah, I don't know about World War One, but I know World War Two. America, they were a bit stinky. They were a bit stinky in World War Two.
They absolutely were the leading one
Yeah.
in this war to a certain extent.
Wait,
But
what?
yeah, no,
Well-
you should not dump it all on Germany.
Oh,
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
no, they
have
were not. It was
completely
between
not.
two tiny countries in the middle of Europe. Germany got pulled in.
It was not
early
between,
Oh, yeah,
on.
about World
it
War
was
One.
not
Okay.
not two tiny countries. It was between one very big country and one tiny
Okay,
country.
yes, you
But
know what
Germany
I mean.
Germany gave that big country a blank check to do whatever it wanted. Like they
Yes,
were
I
very
get-
firmly
okay,
wanting
yes,
war. They
But my
wanted war.
point is the fact that Germany was not the start of this war. They were ones that were
No.
dragged in. My point being
But
that
they were
they did
dragged
not
in.
deserve.
They
The only reason
openly
that they
said
were
he wanted
listen.
to.
The only reason that they were attacked because they were the only country that had anything like worth their fucking gall of existence. You know, Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, like that shit didn't even fucking matter. No one gave a shit about those guys. It's like this motherfucker.
What do you
This
matter? They had fucking imperialist
Compared to
massive
Germany, though, I
empires
mean-
over various different peoples.
Yeah, but compared to Germany, though, I mean, Germany was just. They were looking for a scapegoat in terms of like a big country to dump all this shit onto instead of just being like, yeah, all these
Yeah, no,
Axis
no, no.
powers.
They
all
they
you
should
guys-
not have dumped all of it on Germany at all.
Yeah.
at all.
My point is that
Germany did still very much want a war.
Well, that's fine. I was just saying that they weren't the starting control. They didn't start the war. They may have wanted it.
They actually had a
bandwagons,
prediction.
basically.
They
Yeah,
had
they
a prediction
bandwagoned.
that
They were the white girl about
they had
the
a
N-word
prediction
use,
that they needed to make a war happen because they were worried that by the year, I think they predicted 1917, Russia would just become undefeatable in a war.
Well, 1917. By that point, people went. I think it was 1916. Wait, no, yeah, 1916. It was Nicholas II. He actually took control of the army. I think it
Yeah,
was
he
16.
did.
Or it
He
was
did.
yeah,
And it
which was a
fucking
stupid
did
thing.
not work.
Yeah, because then he became kind of the thing. But then, wait,
He
that's
became the
different.
scapegoat for the war's problems.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that because I did Russian history last year. I could go on and on about it. It's so fascinating. Anyway, I'm not going to go there
It is.
because this is a limited time podcast. But
Yeah, we had 20
limited time,
minutes
by
left,
the way.
and overall, the entire episode, like for context, everyone listening,
Has been about films instead of games.
Sylas proposed this episode's idea, right? It was as
Mm.
simple as childhood games.
Yeah.
In total.
And someone had to bring up the gun control at the beginning, and it's just, I don't know.
And don't forget all the
Which isn't
conversation
bad,
about
though.
Wendy's.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying
which
this
isn't
is
bad,
this
to be
is
honest.
like
I
what
wouldn't have
the
any
third
other
or
way.
fourth time that we've gone off on unhinged tangents and like the main topic is
I
But
think
like
that's-
tangents are fun.
no,
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
it's
I
good.
like them. I think it makes the podcast
Mm.
better. I just think it's funny that like in the total of an hour and 40 minutes that we've recorded, one person has
40
talked
minutes
about
is-
childhood
no.
games, and
Yeah.
it went on for
Well,
20
I would
minutes.
be happy to talk about childhood
Yeah.
games, but like,
No, I
But
know we
still,
can talk about it. I
arguably,
just thought it
though.
was really funny. I looked at the time. I was like, "Holy fuck!" Because I thought
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was like
arguably, I don't think that's
I don't know.
long enough, to be honest, for one person. I
let
think someone could talk
me just
about
quickly
yonks.
segue us onto a childhood game then, because I know
Well,
that
before that,
Mr. Pertlight over here has
Hey,
played
hey,
a certain game. Shut up, Sylas.
hey,
This
no
guy
references.
has
Hey,
played a certain remake regarding a
don't
certain
talk about Resident
game
Evil.
that I hold very dearly to my heart because it was a very important childhood game for me. The great and legendary Resident Evil 4. Fucking hell, that game is good.
dude, the
I
remake
haven't
is
played
so
the
fucking
remake.
amazing.
I haven't played the remake. I've heard good things. I want it.
It's a
But
John Wick simulator.
I also want the original. I want the original as well.
Get the
I
original.
want to get a way to get that as well because I miss it so dearly.
I'm
The
assuming,
fucking
Sylas,
the
that you
graphical
haven't played
design is
any of the
beautiful.
Resident Evil remakes.
The thing is with me,
I'm
there's
assuming he hasn't
a
played Resident
game-
Evil.
There's a lot of grey area with my games, like as an interest-wise, as a child, as you know, with my great taste of Terraria and that. The one thing was a grey area, right? And by the way, I'll play Skyrim as soon as you're able to actually drop in the stream. I will stream it, okay? But the thing is, right?
Good.
Okay, right now, any game was like similar. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy, but there's like a same vibe with like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, that kind of stuff. I've never touched those games. I know it sounds weird, but as a child, I always grouped them together, like Evil Within, whatever whatever game you're talking about. They're all like the same vibe to me. And I was like,
I kind of get that.
I don't know. It probably isn't the case. I don't know, but like I always grouped
not
as
at
a child.
all. They're
I don't know.
totally
I-
different games.
No, I know that, but like, is it not? I mean, similar, like thematic wise.
No, not at
No.
all. One's
But I
about
understand
depression
making the
and
mistake
moving
that they
on
would
from
be.
like the problems of the past.
Oh, really?
The other one's a
By
zombie
the way-
survival game.
Yeah.
By the way, just to emphasize here, I went mostly off because child, and this is back when game stores were still like a big thing. I went off the cover of games or like the back of them.
Yeah,
One
so,
had a
like-
zombie and the other one had a guy crying.
Wait, which one? Which one had the guy crying?
I don't know. I think all of them look the same. Usually the Silent Hill have like very abstract covers, don't they?
Yeah,
Let's
but
see,
I
Silent-
don't know. I got the same vibe, especially on the back where it shows you gameplay and that stuff. I was like, okay,
Yeah, the cover of Silent Hill 2 is like literally, I think it's just the main character's face from the side. And like that's it. And then let's look at
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2's. Resident Evil.
oh,
Actually,
that's
we'll
another
do-
that's another episode. We can talk about covers. Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah, the Resident Evil 2 cover is literally a zombie looking around a corner. I don't.
Yeah, nice. What is he playing hide and seek or something?
Yeah, man, he is. He's literally peeking out and seeing Leon Kennedy's hot ass. Yeah.
No, that's Brody. Ah, so Brody.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
I
We'll
don't
get-
have
we-
much to say.
Oh, is that your only childhood game?
I mean-
you had no other childhood.
I mean, there's other childhood games. I mean, the one that comes to mind for me, I guess, would be, since Pert talked about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I'll talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, because that was the first Call of Duty I played.
So overhated. That game is so good.
I like
So,
that game,
yeah.
but yeah.
I still remember, I was like, what, 7? And I walk into game with my dad, and I just see the fucking big screens at the back, and I can see the trailers for it playing, and dad just looks at it like, do you want that? I want that. Should we get a PlayStation 3 and get that?
I love
Like,
to
yeah,
play
why
Modern
not?
Warfare 3. Yes, father.
Is there knives in it? Is
Right,
there-
all right,
still
son,
will
I'll
never-
get you this bloody game and you'll love it to death, my little wee biscuit.
I will never understand why you think that any single British person must sound like a little posh little bastard or a cockney cunt
You know why? You want to know why?
because of stereotypes.
Yes, because I'm American. Everyone that isn't American is a stereotype. And
Actually,
everyone who is American
I
is a
Right, so
saw-
for the rest
stereotype.
of the day, I'll speak Scottish for you,
I
just
saw-
to make
Well,
it really
fucking
make
the other
sense
day I
for
was
you.
speaking Scottish.
Jesus Christ, that was terrible.
Yeah,
It was, but I think
don't
it makes
ever
you
do that
funny.
again.
I was able to.
no.
No,
What's
No,
the
no.
guy's name
So,
there? What's the one I
I-
really
I
like?
was-
Because I just
we
want to
played
talk about
Modern Warfare
accents
3.
before you continue,
The
Brody.
fuck?
Sorry to interrupt. But
Finch.
what was his name? What was the guy that's
Finch.
American Psycho? I already loves for some reason.
Oh,
What's his name?
fucking. Oh my god. Christian
Yeah, I
Bale.
have no idea.
Christian Bale. He did like
Oh,
a video
yes,
about it, and it
yes,
was like
Christian Bale.
English people kind of have a bit of a head start with things because media is mostly American dominated in terms of movies and that. So it's easy to kind of replicate American stuff. But the thing is, Americans, most of the thing that they see, because he's living in the US now and his kids all are American, the thing is, most Americans see is just period dramas. So they usually associate
Yeah.
English accent with all the period stuff, and it's like all English accent, which I think it's not wrong, especially having to endure Downton Abbey like just full on binge watching by my mum.
I like the use of the word endure.
Because I can hear it like every time my mum used to watch it. She's like, "Oh, this is so." I'm like, "This is the 5th time you've seen the whole
Downton
series."
Abbey.
Sorry,
Oh
this is
my-
completely
please.
almost off
It's
topic.
okay, man. We all
The
make
other-
mistakes.
Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know.
wrong,
The other day, I was
I'll
able to do a European accent, and I can't remember what it was perfectly, and I never was able to do it
European.
again. It was some
French,
European.
Italian,
It wasn't
Spanish.
French. I hate French.
Greek.
No, it wasn't Italian. I think it was either Scottish or Irish, and I pulled it off.
Right.
So it was so good. Like the British accent I do is like mediocre at best. I can convince an American, not a
Yeah.
British person.
Oh,
Like
no.
I like,
Listen, with enough practice, I think anyone can do a Scottish accent. Anyone.
well, like the thing is though, like I pulled. It was so. The worst thing is I was in my car by myself. I don't even know why I did. I remember like thinking something, and I said it out loud. And I was like, I think I was like,
Irish is
Back to the-
a wee bit harder.
I don't remember
to
what it
master,
was, but it was something like
you get it
back to
after a
the
while.
kitchen with you. And like I did it was so
Scouser?
fucking
It's like
picture.
some Scouse accent.
What?
Sounds
What'd
like
you
a
say?
Scouser, you're like the little chachen.
This sounded so scouse. Holy shit.
What the fuck? What kind of accent?
Scouse.
Scouse?
It's Liverpudlian.
You think it's
accent.
fucking scouse?
Scouse?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because what they do is they pronounce anything
No, I
like
was singing a
Liverpool.
song, and I was singing a song in the Scottish accent. That's what I was doing. I was singing a fucking cover of "When the Dragonborn Comes." But there we go, bringing back to Skyrim. This is a fucking running gag at this point
yes,
for Sylas. There's a cover by a woman. Her name.
Oh,
I have
okay.
it on my
Next topic. Next topic.
I have it on my Spotify
Yeah, no, stop.
playlist. Hang on, I gotta find her name because I want to shout her out because her
This
music
is Lethal
really
Opinions podcast, not Lethal Women
If you
podcast.
want to learn
but,
how to speak Irish, just listen to Come Back and Come Back
Touch
to
a
Back
tree.
in Sands
Touch a
just over and
potatoes.
over again.
Oh,
Yeah,
potatoes.
wait, but potatoes.
That's really
That's
Potatoes.
stereotypical.
That was
please.
potatoes are Irish. You fucking racist.
Yeah.
ju-
That's what we're saying.
you-
We're talking about potatoes, like.
yeah.
Talking
Oh,
about
Okay, you know, guys,
I
you
thought we were
think
just
all-
talking about Scottish accent. Anyways, point is, her
No,
name is.
You know what?
Yeah.
Shut up. Her name is
her
Maluka. Maluka. This right here. It's not even gonna focus.
Can't
Is
see
it?
it.
Focus.
No.
Look
No
at that
care.
Maluka.
Oh my
Oh
god.
dear God, what is that face?
The
Oh.
cover art's not very
It's
good, but the point
this-
is, the point that I'm trying to make. Listen, guys, listen. The point is, it's literally just like our hero claims a warrior's heart, and I was like, but my point is I did a Scottish accent, and no one's in the car with me, I'm by myself. And maybe because that I was delusional, but it was so, and I can't do it again anymore. I cannot do it. Even when I try to sing the song, I cannot hit it. I hit the perfect voice, like my voice. I
It
was like a
doesn't
little
matter how
tired.
many you try, really, laddie. You won't get it right.
It was like that, but it was even better than that. It was like I convinced myself I was Scottish, and I tried doing it again, couldn't do it, and I'm genuinely heartbroken about it.
Yeah, that's
like,
how
you know what the
Scottish
same
accents
feeling
work,
is right
mate.
now?
That's how
It's
it
like
works.
when you, like,
only
do
get
a
to be
really-
from Glasgow for a grand total of 5 minutes.
But
And
the
then
thing
it's
is,
over.
right, it's exactly like doing a sick, like, trick shot or something. No one's there, and you're trying to convince us. Well, it's not going to believe you, Pertlight. Doesn't matter.
I would
Oh,
love
get the
to see
camera! Get the camera!
Mummy!
You know what, guys?
Mummy,
You
get the
think, to be honest with you, right now,
camera!
before we go back to Brody's topic of games, you guys think you're all top shit about accents? Do a Kiwi accent right now.
I don't know what the
Go on,
fuck you
do
just
it.
said. Kiwi?
New Zealand
Yeah.
accent. There you go.
I
Sorry,
can't do it. I
Kiwi
can't even
slang
do an
for New
Australian
Zealand.
accent without
That's what I
turning
thought.
British.
That's what I thought.
You can do
Yeah,
it.
so
Do it,
I
you
guess
fucking
it-
cockhead.
Yeah, he can
Can't.
because he's
Oi,
I
man.
can't.
Oi, man.
him. Yeah, he can.
Welcome to New Zealand. He's like this, like
Oh,
quiet
come on,
little.
bro.
Yeah.
What are you
Come on,
doing,
bro.
man? Oh, come on, man. Don't talk like that.
It's literally everyone just talks like fucking that one guy from that one shitty Thor movie. The
Yeah,
rock
no, that's
guy.
legit. The guy who directed is Taiki Waititi, and he also
Yeah, I know,
does an
he's a
amazing
New
film called
Zealander,
Hunt
but,
for the
like,
Wilder People. Hunt
He's
for the Wilder People is so good. He does the rock guy, I think. No, he doesn't play the rock guy. No, he-
No, he does.
Who's he playing now? He's in a
Who does he
one
play?
movie. Have you guys seen The Mandalorian?
No.
No, but someone
Oh,
in my
okay.
server fucking hates it, and so I've kind of just not watched it.
Oh,
'cause it just
I
doesn't seem
love
good.
it. It's great. I've been watching it, but the thing is, this robot in it is acted by, or not acted, voiced by Taiki Waititi. What's wrong there? What have you done? What have you done?
Did you say you love the Mandalorian? The person
Yeah,
I was
I
talking
like
about
it.
who wait, listen. The person I was talking about who hated it,
Yeah.
that was Jig.
Is it?
Yeah, he's in the
Oh,
server. He has a
yeah.
lethal opinion. Oh my god, that's a good episode.
You're
This is
kidding
bad.
me.
Now we all need to watch Mandalorian.
No.
Thanks, Silas. Now we all need to watch it when you have
To
To be honest with you,
Silas.
right? The thing
Silas,
is, right?
if you
what
ever hear that one of Jacob's friends hates something, it's like 99% Jig, always.
Yeah, obviously. But the thing is, I don't know. I like the storytelling in it. It's okay. Sure, it gets a bit repetitive sometimes. Sometimes it's the same thing going. Okay, him with Baby Yoda. Okay, he going around with him, and like something happens and he loses him, and then also in trouble. Like, okay, it's repetitive. I get it, but like I watch it with my partner. It's very easy to watch. You just have it in the background. For that reason, I like it, and it's got some good storytelling. In it.
So it's fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a couple moments in it. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. For those viewers who are still actually watching this, you shadows. There's a bit in it.
Those of you
okay,
crazy
we're gonna really
motherfuckers.
We're gonna narrow this down a lot. Okay, so for those who are still watching it, this podcast, I don't know why I'm blurring it. Those who are still listening, and also those who watch The Mandalorian, so this is like no one. There's a scene there's a little ball thing where like the twisty thing. That is like the best storytelling. Well, not best storytelling. I'm not gonna say it's like the best of the century, but it's a prime example of show not tell. Okay, but apart from that, I don't know. The show not tell.
Show
Yeah.
not tell. Did you say show not tell?
Show,
Yeah,
not
show
tell.
not tell.
Like story, isn't
Show
going.
don't tell.
Instead of
Yeah,
going.
no, Brody, don't fucking gaslight me. You said show not tell. It's show don't tell, not tell.
Oh, show not tell.
Same
show not
thing.
tell. Same
No, it
thing,
isn't.
man.
They
Come on,
mean two
calm
different
down.
things, man.
What's the second one mean?
What do you mean?
No.
It's
The
too-
first one's right. That one means it's right. The second one means it's wrong. We're gonna do it my way. Re-record the whole fucking podcast episode. God
Wait,
damn it,
wait,
man.
what?
Fuck.
What are you
Show
on
not-
about?
Show not tell. Show not
Fucking
tell.
with you guys. I'm just
I'm so confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Have some
okay.
pastrami.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking continue playing my balls
anyway.
down here.
There's a couple issues with the movie, the series, but like, I don't know. It's easy to watch. Whatever. Jig can, I don't know. You can have some water or something, and
I'm gonna be real.
hydrate
Silas.
himself.
I think I'm gonna be real, man. I
So-
don't know. I think you might have a lethal opinion here, man.
Oh, it is. But also talking about lethal opinions. Brody, this may be a lethal opinion, but do you want to continue with your childhood games before we go check again? Or is that all your games? Is that all your childhood?
Well, you have 7
Basically, like,
minutes.
I mean,
So,
no,
sorry, 4.
I had a fair amount of childhood. I can't fuck. Oh, I've already
you're
forgotten
talking
what it
like
was
like a
called.
valuable
We went
resource.
on a search. We went on a right search trying to find out what this game was that I used to
Sex with Hitler
play
3D.
when I was really young. No, when I was really really young, we had a Wii, and we played this
Sex with Hitler
fucking
2?
monster truck game,
Oh,
like this
I
monster
play that
truck
too.
racing game, and it was really
It was pretty
really
cool.
not good. It was so bland,
Mm.
but kid me fucking loved it.
Silas loved
And I
that
can't
game, and
remember for the
I
life
heard
of
in
me what
his
I'm
voice, he
called.
just felt
I-
crushed when you said that.
No. The thing is, right, I can't remember playing the game at all, but I remember like the cover of it and it's in my games cupboard, and I know the cover. I've never actually even. I don't think I've ever played it, but it's in there. It's got like a red monster truck on the cover of it. Like I don't even know, but
Something along those lines, probably.
It's Monster
Yeah.
4x4 World Circuit.
is it? Is it
No,
got? Have you got a photo there? Can I see the photo?
That's the
that
one
was
that
definitely
Silas just
not.
described.
Yes, that's the one.
I'm
That's
a
the
fucking
one.
genius. What can I say? I knew that was one
I
you just
don't
described.
know if that's the one I played.
So,
I
did you
get the feeling
play?
that the one I played was different.
I never even played that game. I just have it.
Did you? I had one and now it's gone. Fuck. Oh, did you play Monster Truck Mayhem?
That's a bit of a
Maybe.
generic one, maybe.
If I can pull up a picture, it's like actively choosing not to pull up the picture though. Hang on, I gotta find a better picture. This is the best podcast episode yet. We just fucking gave up. We just started looking
Yeah,
at
no,
Monster
this
Truck
is
games.
great.
Yeah, basically. Well,
Here it is.
Brody.
This one.
Oh.
My tablet is my tablet's having a panic attack.
I'll just wait for you then. This looks like the same exact game. Are they
Because
all this?
I had the
It
audacity
does.
to open
Same
up Google
art
Chrome.
styles.
Yeah, same art
Yeah,
styles.
no, they probably are the same exact game. Yeah,
Probably, actually, to be
don't be
honest with you. It's
surprised.
just. Oh, dude, you tap your.
Yeah. What was that, Silas? Yeah,
Okay, but when did it come out? When did Monster Trucks Mayhem come out?
I don't know.
That's
Probably-
the big thing.
I'm guaranteeing 2009 because it's gonna be one of those games that came out like way later than
No.
this lifespan. And it's like, why'd you guys make this? What is my camera focusing on? Focus on my hand?
I
Or
don't
focus
know.
on me? Dickhead. There we go.
There we go.
Focusing on the fly in your room.
Well, okay. In that case, I'll start talking about my childhood.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What's
And you know
what's
what?
your childhood game?
I'm gonna drop the
Silas?
bomb here. My first Call of Duty. I'm doubting myself now. Jeez Louise. First Call of Duty game I played is probably my favorite one in terms of one of the best multiplayer systems, and also story, I believe, in the Call of Duty franchise. Obviously,
Go on.
it's the one and only
Uh-huh.
Black Ops 1. Okay. There you
Fucking
go.
legendary.
Black Ops 1. Okay, just because the fact, and I don't know, as a child, I had I liked it, and also nowadays I like it even more just because of the historical context of it. I
Yeah.
love, especially
I like
Cold War,
this
COD Cold War.
shit.
I don't know. You can shoot on the campaign all you want, but I love the campaign because it was sick and it was, somewhat pretty cool. Especially having a Gorby there, even though they represented Gorbachev in the second one in Cold War as being a bad guy, but he was actually pretty sick,
Fucking praying to the
and then-
sun god over here.
High five. High five. So yeah, basically there was that.
Silas.
Oh,
We're
you can.
gonna-
I thought you was wanting high fives. Okay.
The game. I was right. It came out in 2009. I just wanted to pull that out.
Right, so the Monster Truck Mayhem won't have been the one I played then.
Fuck you, Brody. You fucking piece of shit. Play better.
Bro, you made him look all that.
That was
just-
first.
yeah,
Second,
come
more
on, man.
importantly, did you say
Because
the
it-
first Call of Duty game
Monster-
you played was Black Ops 1?
Yes.
Holy
2010.
shit, you're fucking an infant. Oh my god. Okay, that's second. Third
Yeah,
of all,
what
wait.
are you
Third of all,
talking
who the
about,
fuck
Jacob?
is dissing?
Jacob,
You said
Jacob.
no. You
Jacob.
no.
No,
We're getting
no,
legal
no,
opinions
no,
here.
no.
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 Who
This
the
is like
fuck
domestic
is dissing?
please.
No,
He's
no.
an infant.
You shut the fuck up, you
He's
British
an
fucking
infant.
twat. I'll come down to fucking Birmingham and we'll brawl you
If
twat.
he-
I'll
No.
fucking take you to the
If he's
pubs.
an infant-
I'll pay for your
No.
drink. We'll have a bloody good time and I'll make you have a social interaction. I know it's your worst fucking nightmare, so you better sit the fuck down, bruv. Alright?
I love
That's-
social interaction. Fuck you. No,
That's-
if he's an infant for playing
Mhm.
Black Ops 1 as his first,
Yes.
then what am I? I played Modern Warfare
Yeah.
3. That was my
That's,
first.
that's a fair point.
Well, the difference is, Brody, is that you're British.
What?
He's British.
Okay, no, I'm Australian. What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I just fucking anytime I run out of anything to say, I just call people by their nationality.
Anyway,
It's just too
were
funny.
you confused that people were dissing Cold War? Is that what you were gonna say?
Oh, Cold War?
Cold War. Yeah. What were you
Oh
thinking?
no, I thought you were saying that people were dissing Black Ops 1. I was like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Oh
Everyone
no
I've
no
talked
no
to loves
no.
Black Ops 1.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, as in
People
Cold
diss
War,
the
people don't.
modern day Black Ops.
I don't know why, but okay, sure, Cold War goes kings. But in terms of campaign and zombies, I think they're the two bits where they. Well, no, actually, the newer maps they kind of. But like, as in the kind of
Take your mind
systems
up.
of zombies, I didn't mind. But campaign, regardless, I liked. I think it was too short for the Cold War, but I liked the campaign.
This is
Why are we on
Sug.
Cold War?
this is a lethal opinion about Cold War really quick.
Go on.
I thought it was good, but I think I agree with the it was too short thing. That game should have been like 3 hours longer. It was like really cut off way too soon. It also should have like 5 more side missions.
goddamn
It felt like the side mission, like it had like 3 side missions and they were really good, but it's like why
Yeah,
the
but
fuck
you didn't
have
have
these
to do
3?
them.
Because they're so but like they were really good.
Yeah.
Like they had puzzles and shit. It
Yeah.
felt like important. It's like
That's the thing.
they should have had like 3 more. They all should have impacted the plot and they should have all given you
I
a
think
much
it all
better
should be
ending because the
mandatory.
endings for the games
Yeah.
suck. But besides that,
That's true.
that's all
I don't
have to
like the
say.
endings. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, but the whole twist thing, I think it's cool. I wasn't expecting it really. I was like, no way they'll do it again. They did it again. I was like, oh. But now there's drugs and they're injecting you, and like,
I just
you
like the
know, it
fact
was
that your
pretty
character
cool.
was a Russian. I really liked that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, you
that
can
too.
have you
It's
can
just,
have an ex-KGB, can't you? Yeah.
there was just one setting in
Welcome
it
to
which I didn't
Mother
like. You
Russia,
could do
where we do not at all give any of our civilians unregistered drugs. Vladimir Putin would never do that. I'm his right-hand man. We've been best friends since I was approximately 2 years old. Do not
Oh,
trust
What's your
anyone
name?
else.
What's your name?
My name is Yuri Petrenkov.
Okay, Mr.
Sounds about
Petrinkov.
right.
Question: why is all the other higher ups like jumping out of windows?
That
Doesn't
is
seem like a
all a
bit of coincidence.
conspiracy made by them Western spies. Do not listen to them. That is all bullshit.
So they're just like
Here, have
jumping
some
out windows.
vodka.
You heard.
It's on me, friend. Do not ignore the weird taste about it.
Why is it green?
The reason why it's green is it's a special potent vodka. It's the greatest vodka you'll ever have. Drink up, friend. I will not ask
Potent.
again.
That's not how you convince someone saying it's potent vodka. It's fine. It's potent.
I'm not trying to convince you, friend. I'm trying to help you. Drink the vodka.
This is going more and more American, like
Yeah, progressively.
aggressive American.
I think he's
can't-
actually an
God
American.
damn.
spy.
See, here's the thing. When I do the
He's
Russian
an
accent for
American
too
spy.
long, it's the same thing with the British accent. I just start saying bloody, and that's not what Russians say. That's a British thing. Because my fucking my autismo brain just does that. It's
Maybe you
like,
just got some English heritage in you.
no, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
from Germany.
Ancestry.
I'm from Germany and fucking
No.
Poland.
What?
Ew! Why are you part
Yeah.
of rivals?
Which is weird because the only
Conflict of
decent
interest over
accent I
here.
could do is the Russian accent, which kind of feels
Is that
bastardized almost.
is that why you hate yourself? Because part of you is German and part of you is Polish, and they
Well,
hate you?
True.
here's the thing: the reason why I like femboys so much is my Polish heritage, and the reason why I hate
Yeah,
women
no,
and
that's
other
definitely the Polish
races is
heritage.
because of my German heritage.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
nice.
makes sense.
Well, actually,
Speaking of Germans, the royal family's German.
nice.
Well, that is an
Um,
interesting fact. Welcome to
whoa.
Yuri Petrinkov's Grand Cooking
well-
Corner, where we talk about the greatness of Vladimir Putin. You shut the fuck up, you goddamn Western spy.
This is an interesting take on lethal
Go on,
opinions.
Freeman.
Welcome, welcome to Yuri's Cooking Corner. If you talk over me one more time, I swear to God, I'll send you to the gulag. Do not talk to
There
me
is no
anymore.
gulag left. Mike.
You may cover yourself in red, but I can see the red, white, and blue behind you. That's what I thought.
Hey.
In it.
Hey,
bro. What's going on here?
But yeah, let's final this episode. It's ended off with one of the greatest games of the time, made by
Wait,
Studio
wait,
Ghibli.
everyone, we have to say.
No,
No,
I
listen,
think that
listen,
the
no.
entire time he talks about this game, he needs to speak in the Kiwi accent.
Listen. What we need to do is we need to all say at the same time the greatest game of all time, because we're all thinking it, right?
No, we're not.
No, we
we're
are.
not. No, we're not.
We're all on the same
You guys,
We're
you
not
guys
that.
know.
We're not on that.
You're
much of
ignorant
the
and you're
same
oblivious.
wavelength.
Okay, so you're gonna have to guess what game this is. Okay, are you ready? So I'm gonna set the scene. Okay, so it's made
Set the
by
scene, go on.
the hit studio Behemoth. Okay, right, great game. So you're part of this group, group of people, and they're colleagues, they're friends, they're good, they're close, right? And you guys go on voyages and that whatnot, on the sea. Anyway, so you go across the ocean, right? And all of a sudden, like it's all as good spirits are high in that, and then a storm kicks in, and this is not good because it's quite an ultra realistic game. So a storm kicks in, and the whole like ship that you lose, like because there's a lot of people on the ship. It's like a lot of like it's a huge crew, and people are flying out left, right, and it's like really not good, And it's a horrific in detail because it was actually quite a gory game for when I was playing it as a child.
You made this
And
game up.
I'm not.
This
I
is a real
promise you
game.
that. No. Yeah, it's a real game. And
I know what
the
this
noises
game
of the
is.
thing-
No, I know what this game is. Yeah, it's about a guy with a hat and cries because all of it's very gory, right? Very, very awful. That's the game you're talking about?
Very visceral. Yeah, Battle Block Theater.
Yes, Battle Block Theater, yes.
Now, that game that taught me a ways. And I don't trust a single person. When I learned as a little
God,
infant boy,
fucking
okay,
Battle
how to
Block
the
Theater.
art of trade, okay. The thing is, the trade for those outfits. That game, that system of trading was. I'm sorry, but that was a great system. And,
That fucking taught little Sylas economics.
oh yeah, and storytelling as a whole. That game, the story made me cry. I shed a tear, and I wore a hat.
That game made me cry too because I thought it was one of the funniest games I've ever played. I remember watched the trailer on the Xbox 360 store because you could download trailers for some weird reason. I watched it over and over because it always made me laugh because I was a fucking moron. Yeah. I remember there was during the intro sequence, he's like the narrator's talking about. He's talking about like how there's this big accident, and he's like, and it was all wet and what does he say again? He's describing the storm.
Was like at the beginning, he's like, oh, it's the SS Friendship, and they set sail. All spirits are high.
Yeah.
And then there's then a storm comes in.
Yeah,
and
he
then
goes,
yeah.
and then he turns
he's
the fucking
shaking
ship
the boat.
upside down and starts shaking up the guys out.
And then he's like, and then there was a whale for some reason. I don't know why there was a whale.
And doesn't he make the whale go "Nah," or something like that? He does like a funny noise.
Like, yeah.
Ugh.
God, fucking Battle
yeah,
Block
that
Theater.
game was that was a scary. And then you crash up on an island that's full of cats, and then they take Hattie Hattington as a hostage.
Yeah.
Even though Hattie Hattington, they just take him as a hostage and they give him a hat, even though he didn't have a hat before, and his name was Hattie Hattington. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I swear.
And yeah, it's just that's storytelling.
From what I remember, I remember for a while I got really into just looking up voice actors and what they've done, just getting an idea of whose voices has appeared in what. I'm pretty sure the guy that did Battle Block Theater, that character that talked about the whole thing, I'm pretty sure that guy was in the fucking Has Been Hotel thing when that came out.
Oh god, okay.
I think it was the same person.
Well, I think, not gonna lie, that soundtrack was like a banger. I love that soundtrack, Battle Block Theater. I don't know if anybody else has heard it.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard the soundtrack before. I've never played it, but I've heard the soundtrack.
Do you know whose voice actor I've looked a lot of work up on?
Go on.
His name is Pertlight. He played Axel.
He doesn't do shit.
Was that Pali then for a second, Brody?
Yes.
That's Pert Dark.
Yeah, it's Pert Dark.
Dark.
What the fuck's Pertlian? Is this like?
But no, Pali. It's
Pali.
Never mind. Long story.
Pali.
Forget about it. It's fine.
It's like you but French.
Hey, no more. Shush.
No, that's like my fucking arch nemesis. Yeah. That's worse than Pert Dark. Like that's actually evil.
No. You don't know very much about this. We're not gonna go into it. You're gonna discover one day. It's fine. Don't worry.
Great. Wonderful.
Hey. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So anyway, guys,
I think it's a good
thank you for
spot.
sharing. Yeah, I think so. Before you do end the thing, though, I just want to say